Wallace. You low-key kind of trying to make up for last Thursday, huh?
Hey,
It's a nice little groove, Wallace. I'm gonna need you to bring this afternoon vibe to the after dark vibe and start getting the music right. Cause this right here, I like this. I don't know about you.
you know, you think he would get it right, being that he got more time.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we are kind of casually late today.
Yeah. We on
Casually,
Nerve
we on Nerve Injury time for real.
Injury.
Go on and let us in there, Lavis. People is waiting.
All right, man. All right.
Let's go.
Let's start the show.
Yeah. What's up, y'all? What's up?
What it is? What's
Y'all
good?
know
How's
what
everybody
this
doing?
is. We here.
Mhm.
It's Din of Nerds, the After Dark crew tonight. It's way afternoon.
Wait.
But we in
Afternoon.
here. We in here. What's good? Who rocking with us?
We in here like swimwear. Let's
Yeah.
see. Top billing tonight. We got Ryan. Dead Nerds was good.
What's good, Ryan?
Oh man, we got JT, but right after that, somehow we got the moderator in here too.
I thought you didn't never see him at the same time. Oh, snap.
know,
They switching it
that's
up
kinda
on us.
Ain't they though? Okay. See now everybody know I ain't playing when I said the two different people.
Yeah.
Two different people. All right, but we got Park Outdoors, Will, S-Note, Mason Graves, Monarch, Tim, Nell Boogie, the Boogieist. What's
Yeah,
good?
what's
up?
good? What's good?
We got Travis Sims, Darth Kenobi, Jason Stross, Nick Dowdle. What's good? What's up?
Yeah.
Hey, the main Jacob's Quest. I ain't seen them in a minute. What's good, Jacob?
What's good,
One of
Jake?
the OGs of the
Triple
community.
OG triple. What's
Hey.
good, man? Welcome back.
Right. We got
Man.
Francis, Yova Rides, Adam from Projection was good. Brian K. What's up? What's
Yeah.
up?
What's up? What's up, y'all?
You got Sip the Sprite. I hope I don't have to block you asking if we want Sprite cranberry. Maybe.
Yeah, you know.
Maybe. Cranberry's good for the blood and all
Yeah.
that good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. We got Peter Ferret. What's up? See
What's
you coming
up,
over
Pete?
here. Nino Raw, Justin Simone, and Star Wars Talk Show. But
Hey.
of course, you got the main Mike
Mother flipping Porter. Sir Glass Half Full himself.
Yes.
Coolest nerd
Yeah.
venger this side of the
Hey, what's up?
Mississippi.
To all you broke Vengers, all you late trickling in Vengers.
Yeah. Frugal Vengers, late Vengers, broke Vengers alike. What's good?
Yes. All of you guys. How we doing tonight?
Oh man, how you doing, man? What's
I was
good,
about to say-
brother?
I was just about to say the demeanor might be a little laid back because it is afternoon.
It
but
is
I am
way.
still- myself am still excited about that finale.
Yeah, it was a show that came on not too long ago, right? Something about a season finale for a Mandalorian or something like that.
Yeah,
It
it
was,
was something like that.
I think they said something about some dude showing up at the end of it. Like spoiler alert for anybody who ain't
Yes.
seen it.
If you didn't catch what
You
the
might want to
title
go do
said.
that before you check this out.
Exactly, because a matter of fact, I would say by now on Saturday, from what I've even seen on the internet, period, everybody
Yeah.
was like, if you ain't watched it yet, stay off the internet.
stay off the
I'm
internet.
not remorseful at all for anybody in here hearing about
Yeah.
these spoilers.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
But yeah, man, something about some guy named Luke. Something
Some
like
dude.
that. Some dude
Some-
named Luke showed up,
Yeah,
started kicking ass and taking names and
didn't he though?
reducing grown men to tears. I don't know nothing about that. I ain't cry. I don't know what you heard. But yeah, man, like let's get into it, man, cuz like I'm like you. I'm still low key like trying to figure out how I feel. Like my emotions is still recovering from that.
Right, but see, I'm pretty sure yours is more. You have more of a depth to yours of why you feel that way.
Oh
Then
yeah,
I-
you know for me,
Yeah, I know. Man, watching you react just in live time, watching
Oh.
watching you react in live time, and then because we was watching Josh on the watch party, too,
Right.
it was like in tandem. Everything that Al did, pretty much Josh did too at the same time.
It
At
was
the
crazy.
same-
I really
One,
hate that we didn't record that because I feel like
Yeah,
I looked like a hot ass mess during that whole time, and I would have
you
loved
did.
to have seen. So you tell me, I need to know this on a scale of 1 to 10. How ridiculous was I during that scene?
You were every bit of what I would rate that episode. You was 10
Now
out of
wait,
10.
now wait a minute. Slow down. Hold on. Let me give you a spectrum though. We gotta put a spectrum to this before you start calling me a 10, because we got to keep this in perspective.
Okay, yes,
Okay.
yes.
So
Compared to everybody else. Okay,
so
yeah, you're right.
let's do it like
You're right.
this.
Okay.
We will put zero at we will put zero at let me see. Well
I mean,
I got you. So zero would
be
be my reaction on my face when we had Baymax, I'm sorry, came on and kind of jumped the gun on us. That's a zero.
Okay.
Now, that was my reaction then. That's a 0. 10 is going to be the homie Star Wars theory. Now, where was I? Now, where was I?
I would place you at about on that scale about a 7.
Okay. See, that's how I feel. That's how I feel.
You touch it up a little bit more.
Well, see, now here's where I'm going to be. And this is the reason I did that. And this is the reason I asked you that, because we were just talking about this before we went live. But I was a 7 on camera that night. The day I watched it with my wife, I was a full-blown 10.
You was a full-blown 10?
I was a full-blown 10 the second time around. Like, it just... People don't understand, and this is the thing. Before we gonna get into the episode, I want to break some stuff down. I definitely want to get your thoughts, man. I want to see what that episode did for you, because, like you said, you are a Star Wars fan, but you're still kind of you're a swarmy. Yeah. You're a swarmy now.
Yeah, because mine was about a 4 to 5. Yeah. Based on that scale, it was like a 4 or 5.
Right, exactly.
I got to my peak. That was my peak.
Yeah, exactly. Now
I was also other.
I call a homie a swarmy because he's not quite a sweaty, and he's definitely not a normie. You know what I'm saying? He knows some Star Wars stuff. He's catching up, so he's not your average. I've only seen the 9 movies, but he's not on that Josh Al Star Wars theory, and I'm not even on the Star Wars theory level yet. I'm trying to get there my damn self, but he's not there. So that's why I call my man a swarmy. So I'm definitely interested to get your point of view. But I have to say, right off top, man, growing up when I was a kid, right, like my first experience with Star Wars, I remember the Return of the Jedi more than I do any of the other OT movies. Like, everybody talks about Empire and kind of where they were, or the first time that they heard Vader tell Luke that he was his father. Like, that's everybody. But for me,
yeah.
But for me, my most vivid memory of a child is from Star Wars is Luke walking into Jabba's palace. Like, for me, that scene where you see Luke walk into Jabba's palace, cool as a mother flipping cucumber, and just like, nah, look, this is where it's gonna be, and you either gonna get down with it or you gonna lay down. Like, that whole thing for me cemented me as a Star Wars fan, because I was like, Luke in that moment for me was like the quintessential hero. Like, he was that dude for me. Like, I was like, okay, I'm all in on this. So Luke's always been my guy. Like, even after the prequel trilogy and the appreciation that I had for Anakin Skywalker and his legacy, like, Luke is still that dude. Now, I'm not going to go into the whole thing about how I felt with Luke in the sequel trilogy, because I've got mixed emotions on that. I know a lot of people wasn't down with that. I wasn't necessarily totally down with it, but I was not one of these people who were like, they ruined Luke in The Last Jedi. I didn't feel that way.
Dude, you gave 0 on the fact of whatever they did with Luke. You gave 0 at that. Like, I think for the first time, I because I was like, oh, I can't believe they did. You was like, I don't care. You didn't say care, but
it just wasn't. But the thing about it for me though with Luke, and I'll touch on that real quick too, because the thing about Luke in The Last Jedi was that it wasn't so much that I had a problem with it in terms of saying that's not the Luke I remember. Like, I could kind of back up and take a look at it and say, okay, they're trying to give us Luke from a whole different perspective. I feel that, but you got to like set that up for us first. You got to give us some context. Let us know how we ended up going from Luke being the baddest mofo this side of the galaxy to now being this dude that just this hermit that wants to just like crawl in a hole and die. Like I need to know how we got there, and I didn't feel like they gave us that. But I wasn't
Right.
necessarily like on some Luke was destroyed and his character arc was broken, anything like that. But I like
No.
every other Star Wars fan was waiting to see that Luke that was going to show up and be like the evolved version of what we saw in Return of the Jedi. So that in the back of my mind, that was the thing that I had always been wishing for, but I had kind of reconciled that, that had come and gone. Like we wasn't going to get that. So even as we were building up to the season finale with all of the rumors, all of the speculation, all of the, smoke around this idea that Luke was going to show up, I still was kind of like mildly skeptical because I just did not think we would actually get that moment on screen. And when we saw the X-Wing, and I immediately was like, no.
Hey, as soon as Sal saw that X-Wing dude, I ain't never seen a man in his later 30s turn into a 5-year-old so fast.
Bro, like I flipped my shit because
he shrunk, his clothes got too big, the hat went over his face. He was like, "Was that an X-Wing?"
Man, it was.
Did I just see X-Wing?
And it was just like you watching this, and it was literally like I teleported back to being 10. And like sitting there like a kid, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I'm tripping out because I was like, man, I cannot believe that they found a way to hit me in that place with Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars for a multitude of reasons, but one of the ones that have kind of fallen down the totem pole, if you will, for me as I've gotten older is just that awe of the wonder of Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like as an adult, you understand what you're watching, and it's like, yeah, it ain't really somebody out here that's kind of moving stuff with their mind and walking around with this lightsaber, yada yada yada. So like that part of it for me is like it's cool, but that's not why I still watch. That little 10 minutes was all that. Like that was all that rolled into like you might as well like 10-year-old Al was probably sitting at home and look, I'm glued to the TV and I'm just like this mouth over my like hands over my mouth, like straight gone because they brought my hero back. You know what I'm saying? Like they brought back the dude that made me love this stuff from the beginning. And to see him and to see them bring it full circle and for it to be done in such a way, because if you remember, I was the dude that was saying I didn't want season 2 to end like season 1. I was like, I don't want the heroes to end up with Grogu again. But they did it perfectly because it wasn't a situation where you go into season 3 wondering what's gonna happen with Grogu in terms of his relationship with Mando. Right. But they basically closed that arc. So we can go into season 3 and we'll talk about that because I know you got some thoughts on that. So
definitely
we can go into season 3 now looking at the Mandalorian from a whole different perspective. And that whole idea of Luke and Grogu together can loom over for the entire season or until we find out what the next level is. But green lightsabers, please, in the 2-way if you was feeling the Luke the way that I was feeling the Luke, because he is that was the Luke. That was not just Luke Skywalker. That was the Luke Skywalker that every single Star Wars fan had been waiting to see, man. Am I tripping or how did it hit you though? I got to know how it hit you.
Well, before we get into how it hit me, I'm gonna handle some of these super chats.
Oh, we got some. Look, I'm so running off. I didn't even realize we had any yet.
Right. So after these messages, but first off, we had Darth Kenobi, THG with the $1.99. Thank you. He's talking about earlier when we came in and I was like, in late. He was like, yeah, nah, y'all was on broke venture time.
Yeah, you right.
Yeah. We got Tommy Berkemere. He says, for the $5 holla, thank you.
Appreciate you.
He said, Lavis was right about them igniting the green on Mando. He was just wrong about it being Ezra. Can't wait for the Book of Boba Fett. There's a couple reasons why I was wrong on the Ezra part. One, I just didn't think they'd go as far as they did.
Right.
I figured if they did, I figured it'd be a whole actual actor. So, but at the same time, my man Al was already on the it being Luke train. So I kind of at least wanted to cater and give people another option to consider because they did both have green lightsabers. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? And they're both anticipated characters. So, you know,
exactly.
had to hang in there. Had to hang in there. See,
Appreciate that.
OBG Blancs came in with the 99 cent. Persia
Mm-hmm.
Cajun. And I seen a couple more trickle in real fast. We let Wallace hurry up and update my screen over here.
Oh yeah.
Because I see Drinky Crow come in with the $50 holla. Thank you,
Appreciate
sir.
that, man.
He said, Star Wars is racist. They should have recast Luke as a black. No diversity in Star Wars. Yeah, no, I think Luke is fine just the way he is. I appreciate that take,
Yeah, but
but
no.
we are a couple of dudes that just like things for how they are. It's got no reason or another
Yeah.
for that other than the content.
Yeah.
Then we got Justin Chandler come in with the $5. He said, "What up, man? Got fresh Guinness in my glass and here to talk all the Mando goodness with my dogs. Predictions on my boy Boba, Mandalore crime. Yes.
Oh yeah, we
Yes.
gonna get in. We definitely getting into that boba here in a minute,
Yeah,
man.
I'm all
We
ready and I'm all about
definitely
that.
gonna do that.
Persecute you guys again with those hollers.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, how did it hit me? The episode as a whole, yeah, especially of course when it was Luke and he did step in and
Yeah.
all that stuff, that was definitely automatic 10. But I'm the twists, man, the twists in there with the whole him getting beat the hell up by
Yeah.
the dark troopers and kind of feeding in what Josh
Yeah.
was saying would happen. So everybody was like,
Yeah,
oh.
man.
But then, us thinking that they were done with, and then,
Mm-hmm.
of course, I already figured that Gideon would be there with Yoda. Like, there's
Yeah.
no way my man was going to chill on the bridge. But, then him having to fight him with the dark saber.
Yeah.
I already knew he
Mm-hmm.
was going to betray him, but it was like I know about the dark saber. I know about the story. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And I like how they still explained that. You know what I
Right.
mean? But once he actually beat him and then walked in with it like the way he did, I was like, oh. Then her face, I was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately, I knew that was going to be a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I guess in my swarmy area, that's more or less my interest because one, this show peaked an interest, and
Right.
then it just expanded it to where the point now, like you said, I'm more of a swarmy for the entire Star Wars. So this show for me is kind of like, I guess you could say my little pinhead on that, where I'm starting off at. So
Gotcha.
I'm
Okay.
more into it for the actual Mandalorian part. Like, what are they going to do for that? And then you just get the whipped cream and cherry on top.
Yeah.
When they actually have Luke come in and straight up give you 8 to 10 minutes of him just being a Jedi. You know what I'm saying? Seeing him in his all unadulterated power, just down to crushing the last dark trooper, and the swag he had with it. My man grabbed his shoulder. He's like, nah, dude, I got something to do. I got somewhere to be. I'm cool.
No doubt.
Back up off me. That whole thing. Like, yeah, no, I didn't get like anybody else did with the whole, they fixed Luke. I didn't really, like I said, from where I was, it wasn't like, okay, yeah, they messed Luke up, but in the end, I went back and rewatched it. I only seen the whole thing twice, but when it came down to it, I really enjoyed that Luke scene. I probably rewound that like maybe 8 to 10 times.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Who didn't? Who didn't?
I had to definitely keep going back and watching that. And with the flex that they did with watching it again and seeing the CGI and everything, I'm not gonna complain about it. I probably wouldn't want to see that for like a whole series.
That's a great point.
But,
and we definitely got to get into that because I got some thoughts on that too. Definitely got some thoughts.
Just the fact that you guys got that moment and it hit for y'all, is something that for me, I still kind of shared it. And I was like, okay, these guys are getting like the closure and stuff that they need when it comes from everything they've been griping about for the past year or so. So
that's the thing, man. And real quick. Oh no, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you can. No, good.
Just want to make sure I get Darth Kenobi with the $4.99 Super 2-way. Said when Moff realized who it was, he was like, "Nah, mains, I'm out." Hey, I appreciate that, man. And you ain't lying, because dude was like, he looked at that screen and it was like, my man, and I got questions about that too.
Scared.
Because my thing is, that wasn't just we done. Like he knew, like he had heard of Luke, like he already knew kind of the legend and knew what went down on the second Death Star and was like, "Oh, this mofo finna show up. I don't want no trouble." And real quick, for for the sake of being the gentleman that we are, we will acknowledge the next $50 super two-way from Drinky Crow, but I will simply respond to that by saying we don't do that here. We don't do that here. So man.
I ain't even read
it. Man.
I ain't even try.
Man. SFC Pruitt coming through with the $9.99. Once again, letting us know he likes turtles. Dude come through all the time letting us know he really down with turtles, man.
I can't show you my turtle this time.
This is because it's after dark and we are still in the. That's why you better keep that put away, Lavas.
It will be.
Yeah, man.
We can't skip over Darth Kenobi.
No, get the homie Darth too.
When he said when Moff realized who it was, he was like, "Nah, man, I'm out." Yeah, okay, my bad. You read that.
Yeah, we got that one. I thought he had another one, but we good. It was so nice we had to read it twice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My calls just come through.
Yeah, he just came through with one.
Yeah, I'm at Wallace is halfway on it. The Book of Boba will be season 3. He said the Book of Mandalore will be season 4 and keeps the trilogy, the series a trilogy, and will allow the return to Din and Bo. I got my thoughts on that. So.
Yeah, we gonna get into that, man. But let's kind of what I want to do now is kind of go through the episode like real briefly. Like I don't want because we all know like this will forever be the Luke episode. You know what I'm saying? Like this will forever be known as the Luke episode. Real quick before we do that, though, Sam Shields says with the $5 super two-way, appreciate you. Wants to know, do we think we will see Bo and Mando fight or Bo become a mentor to Mando? That's a good question, man. I think that season 3 is going to set up, and I'll get into it a little bit more in a minute, but I think season 3 is going to set up some real interesting shit for Mando.
Yeah. Most definitely.
No doubt. But they start the episode out, and this is another thing and this has kind of been the theme for this season. And you kind of hit the head or nail on the head back on the episode with the tragedy when they showed up on Titan first. Mm-hmm. They are not wasting any time with these episodes. Like every episode that they've done where there's like some action to be that you are anticipating, you come in right on that action. Like you come in right on whatever that is that the next story beat is. They are wasting no time getting to that. And so it was the same thing with this episode. They were already, kind of in pursuit or trying to apprehend the scientists. So there's already that shootout going down. They're planning, how they're going to make their attack, once they get him. And it's on and popping from that point. And then we get one of my favorite scenes in the episode that didn't contain Luke was when they showed up on what maybe was Mandalore. Like, I don't know if we know what planet that was they landed on when they went and ran up on Bo-Katan and her crew. Like, was that I don't know if it was Mandalore.
They saved him out of the water pit from that monster?
No. When Boba and Mando rolled up to Bo-Katan to let her know he needed their help.
Planet that was? No, I doubt that was Mandalore. Yeah. It's probably the same planet that they found him on when they rescued him.
Could be, yeah. All I know is when they came in and I saw the Mandalorian ship there in the background, I was like, oh, bro, look, they ain't playing games. They ready to go. And I liked that exchange between Sasha Banks' character and Boba, or Mando. I'm sorry, that was legit. Like. They had to give her little WWE shine, and I wasn't mad at it. I wasn't mad at it. You called it too. And but it was live though, man, because I think that whole dynamic, and you probably gonna get into this with what you was gonna talk about later, but I think that whole dynamic is a precursor for what season 3 gonna look like. You know what I mean? I think what we saw right there, that little tension between those three parties, you got Din Djarin, you got Boba, and then you've got, Bo-Katan and her people. I think there's really going to be some interesting stuff coming. So we might be on the same tip with that, man. But it was, they get together, they start the plan, man, and then it's an all-out assault on the homie Moff Gideon, man. Tell me, what did you think about that and that whole setup? How they got down once they got to his ship?
When they finally got to his ship, like the whole plan that they had set up for split up and everything. I thought that was dope. I thought that was a good way, in the show period, that it was a good look for the action.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a good look. Again, how I always detach. I do the business standpoint. For a business standpoint, that's great. If that's how they're going to wind up doing the show that they're supposed to be on,
Mm-hmm.
That was a great
You
look.
talking about the
for it.
Rangers of the New Republic and the
Yeah,
Cara Dune and
yeah,
how they had all the females kind of together and flexing that muscle.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
that is, and in my mind, I immediately had a callback to Endgame and that same scene where they had all of the heroines
oh yeah,
kind of carry and like handling that. I felt that same vibe, and my thing with
yep,
that is, if you're trying to push an agenda, like even if, and I'm not saying that's what they were doing with that whole scene or whatever. If you're trying to introduce that new dynamic into your material, that's the way to do it. Like, because
yeah,
that was legit. Like you had Kara, who was kind of like the aggro, like she was like bodying up
yeah,
dudes and stuff. And then you
mm-hmm,
had, Phoenix Shan, you had Bo-Katan, and
yep,
the whole setup was just live, man, the way that they handled that. And
yeah,
that makes me excited to see a show where they're the focal point or where Kara's the focal point. Like, I'd be
yeah,
totally with that.
yeah, most definitely. So you had that, and then I liked again how they had it where Gideon is not really somebody that's to trifle with at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
He's not afraid to. If he got to step up, he's going to step up, and he lets you know off top. I'm not stupid. So
Right.
the fact that they didn't kill him at the end of that, they still kept him alive. I
Mm-hmm.
feel again he's going to have a big role to play in one of the shows. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
think he's going to have too much more of a role to play in the Mandalorian. I think he served his purpose for the Mandalorian. He'll probably go on that Republic show, and you guys will get your big bad
Yeah.
Thanos character you guys been
Mm-hmm.
crying for. He'll come that way.
Hey man, well,
But
nothing.
again, he'll tie in all the other shows too.
Yeah, that's look. The way that this is all kind of falling out leaves me to feel like anything is possible at this point. And whether that's Thrawn showing up, whether that's Mace Windu showing up, all of it is on the table now, as far as I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, I thought it was going back really quick because I just saw somebody throw this into two-way. That interaction with Boba and Bo-Katan, where he was like, this armor belonged to my father, and she was like, you mean donor. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, like you don't, that's not the dude you want to really provoke like that. Like,
Yeah.
that's why, like, that makes me really interested to see that dynamic moving forward, because especially with what we got at the end of the episode, because that almost could put them directly at odds. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was that was I just had to touch on that because I saw it in the two-way. But going back to the action scene and kind of them on the ship and checking out the stuff with Kara, like even her with the gun and like having the gun jam and all of that, like it was so fitting for that little scene, because it kind of breaks up the action and the seriousness. You get a little bit of comedy with it, but it's done in a way where it's really subtle. And she just, like, you couldn't ask for a better person to have to play that role.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
her physicality and what she brings to that role, bro, like that
it's believable.
It's believable. It's straight believable.
They didn't have her do nothing that wasn't believable.
Right.
It wasn't no to pray. She wasn't Hera Karana and dudes. She was just straight up.
Oh man.
So,
right.
Believable. That's what the big thing is for me, man. I don't want to see nobody do nothing that's not believable.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, they fit her up perfect. Finnick and all of them. I like how they when it was on that bridge, and they just teared off.
Yes.
And they had
dude,
they had
the whole thing was so clean, man. Real quick, Justin Chandler with the $2 two-way, appreciate you. Said if it went any longer, Pimp Daddy Fett gonna wreck him. Hey man, you not wrong. You not wrong.
at all. But see, okay, so who was it that came on? Was it Mike? Was it Mike Hawes, if I remember? who came on there with his with the theory and was damn near like he was on it because he
Oh
was
yeah,
paying
yeah,
attention.
yeah. That's right. Yes.
But he said something about that the chick on deck or whatever, the one who was talking and setting up the
Yeah, that
tubes
she
and all,
might be.
might be Sabine. I am still on that train
Really?
because yes, because I know they went on there and they practically slaughtered everybody on the bridge, but you don't see her.
No, you don't. No,
Don't
you
see
do
her.
not see her anymore. That is
Off
true.
getting in there got caught. Everybody else is just about dead, and you don't see her.
No, that's
So
true.
I still say, and it's still on the bridge. You know, they're still on the ship.
Yeah.
I say season 3, most definitely. You get your Sabine.
Okay. Well, that's.
And
I
that
would not be. I would not say that is totally impossible. I am
that's
curious
just
to know what
one thing.
happened.
That's
Yeah,
just one thing.
I'm really curious to know what happened with that chick, and if that was just like
Right.
all
I
we get
think
from
there was
her. Because I'm with you on
'cause
that. I don't know if that's the last we saw of her, but
right, 'cause they had
I'm
her kinda hesitant, you know what I'm saying? As soon as he said to release the TIE fighters and everything, it didn't look like she wanted to do all that. She was gonna clear the tube, let them fly on in, call it a day.
right.
No problem. But he was like, "Nah, release some TIE fighters," and she was like, okay,
All right.
let's going and doing that." And then when
Yeah.
all hell broke loose,
She was out of
she
there.
ain't nowhere to be
Yeah.
found.
No doubt.
And so
No doubt. So
that's got
then we get we see Din, and he's making his way, and his whole thing during that was to go make sure to try to put the dark troopers out of commission. Now, my question to you again as a swarmy was, not once we saw the dark troopers in action, how did you feel? Were you satisfied with the action from the dark troopers, or did you feel like it still left a little more to be desired?
To be honest, I guess when it came down to it, and we already got to see them on Tython, and they were robots, and they moved how they moved at that moment. I didn't have too many expectations for them going forward. I figured they would just be a plot point, something to serve a plot. And I don't know, the action we got with him fighting Mando,
Yeah.
that was good enough. I guess I don't really know much about Mandalorians, and I
Yeah.
guess I don't sure if I'm the only one who doesn't know too much. You only get certain things from Clone Wars. You get a couple things from Rebels, nothing too extensive there. But like apparently like Mandalorians their strength are not like we would think it as like human level or whatever, but I would have to say it's probably a little bit stronger than that, because with how my girl and Boba was fighting, and he hit her with the little tether grappling hook, and she was just she held it, pulled him in. I don't
Yeah.
think that's because it's out of shape or anything like that. Like
Yeah,
she
no,
was,
I think there's
you know,
definitely probably some strength boost there too.
yeah.
But then also I think it's like
So
I think part of it is kind of the back and forth of the combat, like her being a Mandalorian, knowing that's a go-to, and knowing that like
yeah, how to strengthen up
yeah,
for that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and how the best way to combat that. But I do agree with you on the whole idea of the Mandalorians being somewhat stronger and everything else, because there's one, and I'll say it this way. What this episode does, I think, better than just about any episode so far, is really give you an idea of how strong Beskar is. Because
Yeah.
my man, I thought, and this is going back to your point you made a little bit earlier, when Din Djarin took on that Dark Trooper, I thought Josh like was right. Like, and the thing about it was, I knew Josh like was kind of trolling a little bit when he was saying it, but it was like the crazy part about it was I started trying to be in on the troll with him, and then I ended up talking myself into like believing that it could be that like Din Djarin would be done. So I was like really like buying it. I was like, he might actually go. And when that happened, and this is what, again, this is the beauty of this show. But like in that moment, I'm like, oh snap, like Din is about to die. Like, what? And I'm just yeah, I was just like, no, I thought he was out of there, bro. Like, I didn't think it was no way. And then, when he got out of the situation, I'm like, okay, cool. Now, when I saw him activate or have them vacuumed out into space, I was low key mad, like disappointed, because I was like, is that really all we finna get out of these Dark Troopers? Like, that would have been the one knock I had on this season, had they been sucked out into the vacuum and never come back. But again, they have proven time and time again, do not doubt Favreau and Filoni, man, because they think of all the angles.
Yeah, and it was directed by Peyton Reed too.
And Peyton Reed, shout out to Peyton Reed too.
Yes, definitely, because it's like the fact that he does comedies and stuff mostly, and then he did this, which is pretty much like an action drama.
Yeah,
that is pretty good leap. You know what I'm saying? Well, and he hit everybody in the good points too.
See, but I think, and Josh made this point, I think on the recap stream, but and I agree with him 100% with this. I think as a comedy writer, you have an easier job adapting to any other medium or any other type of action or movie, because
genres,
with time, any other genre, because with comedy it's all about timing. And you can have a funny joke, but if the time is not right, it's not going to hit right with people. And so as a comedian or as somebody who's writing comedy, you've got to be able to understand that timing in the sense from a cinematic standpoint, because you're not really like, as a comedian, if you're doing like a stand-up, you're feeling and you feeding off the energy of the audience and you right there. But if you're writing comedy, you got to kind of anticipate and write in such a way that you kind of pull people. So I don't really
build and then hit them
exactly. So, and I think that translates really easy. And I think where you see that is when you and I think it was oh man, I can't remember the homie's name that was on with me and Josh in the live stream, man. I'm blanking on it now.
Talking about
Geekdom 101. Yeah, shout out to Geekdom, because I think he called this out, and I want to make sure I give him credit for that. Was he gave the example of Jim Carrey and how Jim Carrey did all of these comedy movies, and then he did the Truman Show, and it was like all of a sudden you like, damn. So Jim Carrey got some chops, and it's like you realize that because as a comedian, you have that timing, and you know how to deliver that performance. And so Peyton Reed, man, shout out to him, because especially when we get to the ending, just the pacing of it, as Josh always says, but the feel, the vibe, the ambiance in that moment,
everything in that moment.
Shout to and again too, shout to Ludwig van Göransson. Like, this dude needs to just be, I'm sorry, this dude needs to be John Williams now. Like, the music, dude, that music when the Dark Troopers started charging up, that like that techno type, trip hop, like, man, I was like, this is beautiful. Like this, because you don't really hear anything like that in Star Wars for the most part. You've never heard anything that kind of like make Star Wars feel modern but still be throwback. And in that moment, like, I was like, hey, I see what you're doing, bro. Like, that's dope. Yeah.
Dude, I kind of chimed in on him a little bit. I was like, you guys are these composers. And his name is Ludwig. Shout out,
right?
It's almost like saying, shout out to Timbaland. You know what I'm saying? That was a hot beat. He was like, shout out to Ludwig. Yeah, that's a hot beat. I'm like, really, dude?
I'm telling you, because like I'm telling you, man, like Ludwig be doing his thing, man.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
No, but no, if you go look at this dude, like, he's like almost on some hippie type stuff. Like, when you see dude, and he's kind of known like he's got work in the music industry, like producing for some really big names and stuff. So it's interesting to see how he's able to fit the music to the vibe and whatever's going on. Like, it's John Williams, but it's John Williams kind of in today's in 2020, like 2.0. So that's dope, man. But I was like, with the Dark Troopers, I was just like, man, it's dope that Din got it in with one and we got to see how strong they are, but like, is this the way that y'all are gonna get rid of them? And little did we know, you know what I'm saying? It's like they all make their way, like everybody seems to be successful. Now, here's a question for you, and two-way, let us know in the two-way. When Din pops up in that bunker and Moff Gideon is there with that Darksaber and they have their exchange and he tells him he's going to let him go. On a scale of 1 to 10, how sure of you were you that was some bullshit? Like, that wasn't going to go down like that?
Well, I would do it to you again right after these messages. I'll answer
Yeah,
that.
hit him.
Build that up. We got Freezy 2324 with the 279. That's an odd number, but appreciate
We'll
it.
take it.
Where was Ahsoka during the original trilogy? So I'm guessing he's talking about the OG.
Yeah, the OG trilogy. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think we know yet, but I have a feeling we are about to find out.
And Darth Stewie, you are a
Nerdventure now. Welcome.
Let me check, make sure we didn't miss any others.
Yeah.
Click it.
No doubt.
A Gotham. You said Grogu leaving made me cry for the first time on TV. Yeah, I think it's actually good that they remove him from the story now and let it develop and bring it back because like he said, he won't be safe unless he masters his powers. And that's very important. Two, he's still they could kind of age him up. See, this is the thing. We don't know about this species.
Right.
His age is already off for his size. However, we don't know that he won't all of a sudden go through some spurt in the next year or two. And all of a sudden now he's a normal size, maybe able to talk. They just maybe they hit we don't know that type of stuff. So that just an opportunity to define that character off screen and then give him more of a story when he comes back on screen, plus build on that dynamic and maybe change a few things. And who knows, maybe you'll get a preview to, he meets Din Djarin to get on the show in a year or so, and he plunges him in the stomach or something like that, or spot, and that could be kind of the precursor to him being the evil Yoda later. Who knows? But no, I think removing him from the show at this point because of that Darksaber dynamic is perfect.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. And I was on some straight 10 on that shit. Like, by the way, I was like,
I was about to say, how much is 100? Yeah, I knew it was 100% bullshit. Yeah. There was no way.
Yeah.
There was zero. Yeah, no chance.
No doubt.
At all.
No doubt.
Yeah, I mean, you can't trust.
No, you can never trust a villain. I don't give a damn. You never trust a villain.
Plus, he told my man the reason why he was even holding on to the child in the first place. He gave him like the 100%.
Yep.
No all spoilers.
All spoilers.
He was like,
I'm gonna give you the whole. He was like, I'm stopping short of giving you the whole plan. But I'm just gonna let you know. I already got what I got.
Yeah.
I need it.
There's a TLDR on this.
Yeah, for real. Right.
This is why no way that he was gonna let him just walk by and get Grogu. Plus, like I said, he already said, assume I know everything. So he already know that either one or two things was gonna happen when he fought him. Either he was gonna lose and then lose the saber, and then old girl wouldn't be able to grab it from him. Bo-Katan wouldn't be able to take it from him off top.
No doubt.
Or he just win, and then he just go from there practically. Yeah. That's all that would have been. Now it would have been interesting if Josh did get what he wanted and Din Djarin died.
Yeah.
And then Moff get free. He would have had the best car spear and
the Darksaber
and Dark Troopers. But at the same time,
we all know how that would.
Wall, right. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, that still would have ended.
Yeah, it would have been lights out.
Yep, and then Luke would have just levitated the thing over to Bo-Katan. That would have been it. But then it would have been no season 3.
Exactly.
No, the way it ended was perfect. I could kind of say, going back to the whole thing about the episode as a whole, after like seeing it, and again seeing that they was going to get right to it, you wasn't getting no filler type nothing. Typically, I could say when I say something was predictable, I don't enjoy it. But it's because of my detachment and the whole looking at it from the outside, looking at business point, how to write the story type point. It was predictable in a very enjoyable way, at least. You know what I'm saying? Seeing the Darksabers coming back to the ship, I already knew that was going to happen. There's no way he's going to drop them out of an airlock. They can fly. We already saw that they can fly on Python. So I knew that was going to happen, just didn't know when. Him fighting Gideon and not killing him, I didn't really see that. But when I thought about it after he walked onto the bridge and saw Bo-Katan and then the whole story, I was like, okay. So that made it a little predictable how that was going to go. I'm always delightful whenever I'm wrong about certain things. So like not getting Ezra was great. I would have rather you guys got Luke. That really wasn't the argument. I wasn't saying like, oh no, they won't do that, blah, 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 as in like, why, you shouldn't get that or whatever, or forget Luke, nothing like that. but it was just more or less, like I said, I didn't see them going as far as they did to put him
Yeah.
in on that kind of capacity. But I don't disagree with it, because I feel as sweaty fans, for you guys needed to see it be that Luke. You didn't need it to be Sebastian Stan or any other kind of actor that maybe they could have passed off to play Luke. I think seeing the Mark Hamill Luke, that version, is what really set it off for you guys, more than just the fact that it was just that character. It was like you got a whole little arc in there, and it wasn't something different. You know what I'm saying? You probably would have been emotional about it if it was Sebastian Stan, but at the same time, I feel a lot of people would have been like, yeah, but they should have CGI'd Mark Hamill's face over. You know what I'm saying? You still got those people.
I'm going to tell you like this. Number one, you're a bastard because you just stole my thunder, because that was my Luke point. You took my Luke point. You just took my Luke point from me. You out here doing Baymax things. You out here doing Baymax things. But
one, you can't do that to me because we already
I know, but still, I got to give you grief. But no, you absolutely right with that, and I'm gonna expand on that here in a minute. Right. But yeah, it was that whole setup and that lead up to that, right? You get Din dispatches that one Dark Trooper. He gets rid of the other ones. I'm low key disappointed because I'm feeling like that's gonna be it. But then we get to him going into, taking Gideon and them going up and to the command deck or what have you, and there's that showdown. And I'm gonna tell you, at this point, that's when I realized Sub wasn't right. Because my thing was, at that moment, I was like, I thought that this was the turn that they were talking about. Like, I thought what they were trying to say was that, or what they were trying to set up was that now this was going to become a conflict between Bo-Katan and Din Djarin.
Right.
Because once Gideon started laying out kind of the rules for the Darksaber, and you saw that look on Bo-Katan's face, I automatically just started processing, and I was like, oh, hell, they finna go at it. Like, they finna have to go at it, and this might not end well for somebody. But at the same time, I was like, well, we got to be coming up. Because I remember you asked me, you're like, how much time we got left? And I was like, I don't want to know. Because I was like, I knew we were coming up on the end of it, but I was like, no, I do not want to know just how much time we have left, because I was trying to really. We still had 20 minutes at that point.
It's both for a loop, because it's like, wow, all this is happening, and we got
we still got 20 minutes left, and so that's what was leading me to think, and that's why when they showed up and then walked in with the Darksaber, and you saw kind of Moff Gideon kind of try to flip it on him, I thought that was going to be the climax. That all of a sudden now we were going to find Bo-Katan is just now like this tyrant that's hell bent on getting the Darksaber, and that was going to set up whatever was going to happen with season 3. So I say all that to say, I was not looking for no damn Jedi in that moment. I did not think of that at all. And then we find out the Dark Troopers are coming back. And I'm like, okay, wait. So the Dark Troopers are coming back. In this point, I'm still not remembering or thinking about the Jedi. I'm still not.
Weren't.
I was not. I didn't. They had me at that point because I was like, wait. So how is this going to play out? Like, what's about to happen right now? And then I slowly started kind of thinking, and I'm like, it might be Ahsoka. Like, maybe Ahsoka's finna show up, and that was exactly what.
And then it was black and white.
Well,
so
see, before I'm talking about even before that, like, because that was that was post X-Wing. Like, I'm still talking pre X-Wing. In my mind, I'm trying to process, and I'm like, okay, is Ahsoka gonna show up and she be the one, or are we gonna find out that this other chick really was Sabine, and is she gonna come in and kind of like save the day, or like how's this gonna work? Because these Dark Troopers ain't playing. And so when the thing that got me was they started, they line up outside the door, they start beating on the door, but then they stop. And it wasn't just that they stopped, but in the camera, they all turned around, and I didn't take that when the Dark Troopers turned around and had the guns up. I didn't take that as them
threat.
being a threat. I thought it was kind of like they were at attention because somebody else in higher command was like there.
Gotcha.
And so I was like, whoa, I was like, is Thrawn about to show up and let them know that he got everybody he wanted in the same place at the same time just so he could like do what he do? Or like, where are we going? And then we get the X-Wing shot. And at that moment, I knew it, but I didn't believe what I was watching. And it's like you said. So then we get the X-Wing pulls in, it docks, we get the shots, we see the camera footage, the hooded figure. Everybody I know in that moment was dissecting every little frame to try to see who this was.
Yep.
And like I said on the recap stream, when I saw the cloak, I still didn't want to believe it. When I saw the green saber, I still didn't want to believe it. When I saw the gloved hand, I still didn't want to believe it. I was like, maybe, just maybe, that's like Ezra and we don't know that he got his hand chopped off.
Right.
Like, I just could not. That was when 10-year-old boy kicked in. Cause I was like, no. They're not gonna do this. They're not gonna do this for real. Like, don't even get this hype. It's not about to happen. It's not about to happen. And you're watching it and you see it and you know it's him. Before you get the reveal, you know it's Luke. And it's just in that moment, you're thinking, I was thinking, holy shit, we got it right. Like, Sebastian Stan is gonna be like, they actually did do this. Like, oh my God, they actually did it. And so the way that Luke dismantled those dark troopers, bro.
Beautiful.
Like that hallway scene, I've been thinking about this, man. And I'm about to say, I gotta say, it's the best hallway scene we've gotten in Star Wars yet. Like, that's the best, hands down. That's better than the Rogue One Vader scene. That's better than Darth Maul's scene. Like, Luke in that moment, because of what it meant and because of what it did and because of the impact, hands down, that's the best. That is the greatest.
Nobody shedding a tear for none of them others.
No, not at all. And in that moment, it wasn't just that Luke was doing his thing. It was the way he was doing his thing. You saw that Luke's combat had evolved. Like, you could see that he was like, he had been like, this mofo been practicing.
Yeah.
And then not only that, but you get the force ability and you see the raw brute strength of the force. And then what was funny, and I don't know if you noticed this, but we had the whole conversation about force choking and whether that's a dark side power or not.
Right.
And Luke let us know off the, like, right in that scene, because what he did to that last dark trooper, where he squeezed the force to where he crumbled it. I immediately thought of the scene in Revenge of the Sith, where Darth Vader wakes up on the table. He asks Palpatine if Padme's all right. And Padme says, Palpatine's like, in your anger, it seems you killed her. And he's like, no, she was alive. I felt it. And he uses the force and like destroys everything in that room. But I specifically remember there were things in that room that like he squeezed and crushed to the point where like they exploded and liquid was coming out. And it was just like, I literally called back to that moment with Luke in that scene. And I was just like, oh my God, like this dude is like the walking embodiment of his father. Like, he has all of his father's juice, like all of it. Like, this is the Luke. Like that, at that point, I felt like Luke was on Anakin's level in terms of the Anakin we saw in Revenge of the Sith, right? As he leading up to him being Vader. That and even more so, the Anakin that I think we'll see in the Obi-Wan series, if they're talking about we're gonna get some Order 66 footage, that's gonna be what we see, like what we saw with Luke in this episode. I think we're gonna see that same thing with Anakin in the Jedi in these scenes we get in the Obi-Wan series. Like, he's gonna be dispatching modes like that, and it was crazy for me, man. Like, it was so crazy.
Yeah, no. Most definitely. I was enjoying watching your reaction. Like I said, being in the chat and seeing how everybody in there is reacting, and hearing you and Josh.
It was a moment, man.
Doing the same things, saying the same stuff at the same time.
Yeah.
I had a full experience between watching you guys, and yeah, I would probably have to say this will definitely keep me paying attention to Star Wars. Probably on like my level
Yeah,
is has increased. Yeah,
that's
totally
what's up.
increased
Yeah, man.
on that.
And those are those are the moments in Star Wars that make people fans. Like
Yes, most definitely.
these are when you have these moments, and the thing about it is, I don't know from a cinematic standpoint the last time we got a scene like that. Like I don't remember something like that in Rogue One. There damn sure wasn't anything like that in the sequel trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Even like the Han Solo Kylo moment, that was touching, but that didn't hit me the way this did. Like that didn't hit me that way. You know,
Right.
Leia reaching out to her son at the end, you know, Luke sacrifice. You didn't get anything with this kind of emotional weight in the sequel trilogy. So I'm thinking back, and I don't
They didn't have
know.
to edit it properly. That's most likely why. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? All the stuff that y'all griped about is like outweighs
Right.
those moments.
Exactly. And I don't know when the last time we got a moment like that cinematically. Now, Clone Wars, Rebels, that's different. Like
Yeah.
there's some moments in Clone War, in Rebels specifically, that like literally break your heart. Like Kanan sacrificing himself in the Jedi Knight episode. That hits me every time I see that. But not like this. Not because I did not grow up with Kanan Jarrus. You know what I'm saying? I didn't grow up like a Kanan Jarrus fan. I was a Luke fan, and having Luke in this way, and seeing that, like you already were full of all kind of emotion. But to your point, and this is what did it for me. When he took the hood off, and you saw that it wasn't Sebastian Stan, but that it was like the CGI Mark Hamill. It's like you said, they went for it all in that because it hit completely different. And I truly believe this. Had it been Sebastian Stan, I would have been just as hyped. But from an emotional standpoint, it wouldn't have hit me this way.
Yeah, most
It would not have hit me this way because it was when you see young Mark Hamill and you see him in that way, and you remember back to when you first saw, you know, the Jedi Knight Mark Hamill in the black. And you think about those memories, like that calls you back to that specifically. That it's not a, hey, let's introduce this guy, hey, let's bring him back in for the sake of fan service. This is no, let's hit these mofos right in the heart. Like this is a total deliberate, in my opinion, intentional, in my opinion, well thought out, in my opinion, olive branch to the Star Wars fans. Like this was something that they had in the making for not just months, but over like the course of a year. And Mark Hamill actually proved that because he was on Twitter, I think earlier today, saying that it was amazing that they were even able to keep his involvement a secret for the past year. Wow. So Mark Hamill was involved with this and knew about this a year ago, and we heard nothing. There were whispers, but we didn't hear about this. Like this wasn't confirmed. This wasn't something that got leaked. And the fact that they did that and they were successful at doing it, that means that they knew what was at stake with this and they knew what they had on their hands. Because Boba got leaked, Ahsoka got leaked. That stuff was all but confirmed, and it was all, in my opinion, it was all intentional because they wanted to take so much focus off of the idea of this Jedi and the return of Luke Skywalker in this form, that they were okay with people learning that stuff because it was like, we can't let Luke do that. We can't let Luke leak.
It's just
you know what I'm saying? And so for me, it was like the way that happened and that reveal for me, it meant something. It was deeper than just Luke's back, and this is the Luke that I was expecting. This was like, okay, the culmination of this whole season of Mando. Because if you think about it, they basically blew the lid off of Star Wars in this season.
Oh
like,
yeah,
you got hit with how
confetti pop.
It was like cameo after cameo, meaningful episode after meaningful episode, impactful episode after impactful episode, and then you top it off by bringing in a character that you didn't think you'd ever get to see again on the screen in that way, in terms of new content. And so it was so amazing, and it was incredible. And this is still just from him taking off the hood. We haven't even talked about the interaction between he and Din Djarin, or he and Grogu, because I tell you, some of the most incredible, or R2D2, exactly. Some of the most incredible stuff I didn't catch this the first time, but the second time, the way that Grogu was drawn to Luke, like he was drawn to, not even just when he showed up, but like on the monitor. He was drawn to that luminance of the Force. Like, this dude was like, oh snap, that's that dude. Like he knew already, and it was just so well written, and it was so played out just perfectly in every single moment, and you just got swept up in that. And so let me ask you this: once Luke was there in that scene, did you think that he was leaving with Baby Yoda?
Well, once Luke was in that scene, we'll have to wait till after these messages.
There we go, man. Look, you already know, man. This gonna be the new rhythm. Hit him with it.
So earlier we had Darth Binks with the 420.
Appreciate you.
Batman versus Boba with the Darksaber. I mean, of course, that would be hot. I think what they do, the death battles, and they have Bat in the Sun. You might want to watch a couple of those channels. I'm not gonna go chill mode, but those are a couple good channels to watch. They probably already did it. We got Stormy coming through with 821 with the $2 euros. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you, Stormy.
He said, could they still bring in Sebastian Stan for a spinoff? Yeah, of course. And that was going to be kind of something that I was going to say. With the way that they did Luke's face on there was kind of questionable. And I think the reason why they did that, not just because of the CGI effect, but because if you kind of look at it from certain angles, it could definitely look like Sebastian Stan without that. So I see them going either way with that. They could either bring him in and and they have a little thing with Sebastian Stan. He'll be on the show, or if they'll be surprised if you get another little mini CGI whenever they bring back Yoda, and that'll just kind of signify the fact that they're not going to go that route. They gave you what you got for your fanboys, and that was it. But as far as Grogu going with Luke, I figured he would, because they had introduced that new steak. Okay, they got a new steak to claim on the Mandalorian on the show. They kind of, I told y'all, I feel like they was using season 2. They had a whole bunch of stuff that they was kicking off, and they did that with this episode. That's why with this season. That's why it was like, you're going to focus on a couple other people. It's not always going to be about Din Djarin and Grogu. We're going to focus on some other things. And then they popped off in that investors meeting, that the Disney investors thing, giving y'all all them different shows. So I figured he was going to go with them on a whole scale. But as far as getting that like touching departure and him taking his mask off and all that stuff, and not only just taking his mask off, but all the way down to them leaving down the elevator, never put it back on.
Right.
And you know how quick he was usually is anyway to, all right, here's my face, this is what you wanted, blah, 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 all right, bam, back with the mask. So, and then they ended like that. So, I feel like my main Pedro, you're going to see a heck of a lot more of him.
Oh, yeah.
Are we getting in to talk about that yet? Or
we about to. You got to give me about five more minutes of my Luke gushing. I got to get my Luke gushing out. But that was that. So
that's why you do this.
There you go. But that's go do your thing. But that was for me, y'all. That was it, right? You get the Luke situation, and it was like all of a sudden you're completely just caught up and swept up in that whole thing, right? You can't believe that Luke is in that moment. And so you're looking at him and you see Grogu and you see Din, and Din's kind of like trying to draw together the strength he needs in order to get it together, right? Like in that moment, he's trying to do it. He's trying to pull it together. He's trying to get the strength to kind of like give Grogu to Luke. And he essentially tells him, this is who you've got to go with. This is your destiny kind of type thing. And you see Grogu's a little hesitant. And Luke tells Din Djarin it's because he's waiting for, permission. And it was like, in that moment, you realize that this is, in that moment, you realize this is what he was trying to get. And this is what, this whole thing's been building up to. It has been that. Man, go on and eat your snacks. This late, way afternoon. Ain't nobody worried about that. Eat your snacks.
I know.
I got this. I got this. I got this part. But that's the thing, man. It's like Luke in that moment was like everything. And you see that interaction between Grogu and you see that between Grogu and Din Djarin, and that's some of the sweetest shit. I'm sorry. I don't care how tough you are. I don't care how hard you think you might be. If you are, especially if you have children, right? Like if you're a father, and you know, and this is what this brought me back to, and it was so crazy, was when you see Din Djarin pick Grogu up, and you got this dude, you see what this dude has went through. You see, like this is a man who just had a robot that probably hit harder than Ivan Drago, like punching him repeatedly in the face. Like my man Din probably got a concussion, like in that moment. Like low key, my man is probably like disoriented than a mofo. But
scar, man.
I'm telling you, all jokes aside, like he's in this moment with this little alien, and I was immediately thinking of like when you look at your child and or you look at your baby and you just want the best for that kid. Like no matter what it takes, no matter how it's going to affect you, no matter what it's going to do to you as an individual, if it means the health, safety, and well-being of that child, you down for it. And in that moment, you saw that Din, as much as he didn't want to necessarily part ways with Grogu, and as much as he wanted to give in and be like, nah, bro, like you ain't got to go. We can make this work. He did what was right for the child. And then you see, Grogu kind of look at him and he gives him that look. He reaches up for the mask, and then is like, okay, I can, like, he takes the mask off. And for me, that was the whole 2 seasons kind of culminating in that moment. And I'm going to say this, I don't know necessarily if next season we'll even see Din in the helmet that much. Right, like we'll see him in combat, but like, yeah. I don't think it's going to be, the whole helmet thing is going to be a thing as much as it was anymore for Din, because I think in that moment, it wasn't just the Grogu thing that like kind of made him evolve or change his, I think it was just the journey itself. I mean, you saw it in the last episode, you saw it in this episode. I think the journey itself and his arc, he is now going to evolve beyond the Mandalorian that we saw in seasons 1 and 2. Now he is going to be a person looking for a new purpose and looking for a new kind of way, if you will. And this is the beginning of that. And so you have all that emotion in that scene. And then you get to the scene where Grogu makes his way over to Luke. And he's still kind of unsure. He's like, I don't know. Do I stay? Do I go? And then we get mother flipping R2-D2.
Yep.
How did you feel seeing? Now I get it. You're more a Mando fan, and that's kind of your Star Wars entry point.
Right. No.
But when R2 popped up,
yeah. Seeing that for real, and I see somebody else pop this in the chat too. I'm going to address, but I kind of felt like the R2-D2 was the solidification for all of it. Period. You got your Luke, and then you got R2-D2 finally in that moment. So it was like, oh my God, you get the whole thing. But seeing how Grogu interacted with R2-D2, it kind of made me like think, did maybe R2-D2 have something to do with saving him in the first place? And so now that he pulled up, he's like, "Oh, you with Luke? This is you? This you right here?
Right?
Like,
right.
Okay. All right. I'm ready to go. Yeah. I didn't know that. My bad. That's what I kind of feel like.
No doubt, because it was like in that scene, the way it looked, and I went back, and it was funny because I watched the second time I watched it, the subtitles was on, And so it was kind of like you realize that in that scene, Grogu really doesn't say anything or make any kind of response to R2-D2 until R2-D2 finishes beeping at him, like talking to him the first time. So it's almost like R2-D2 comes around the corner, recognizes Grogu, and is like, "Hey, little fella, you remember me?" And then Grogu's like, and then on the screen it says Grogu cool. So it's almost like he responds to R2 like, "Yeah, I remember." And R2 starts doing this little R2 thing where he's rocking back and forth and beeping like, "Yeah, what's up, little homie? Like
what's good?
What's good? You ready to? It's been a minute."
Like, yeah, like I'm with him now. This is still Skywalker.
And that opens up, right? And that opens up the whole thing, or that sets off this whole like possibilities for me, because it's like, did R2 have a hand in saving him at the Jedi Temple? Was he around, or obviously it seems like he at least knew of Grogu, or knew who Grogu was, or Grogu knew who he was, during his time on Coruscant at the Jedi Temple. So if that's the case, then they have a history. And I want to know, and so then that would mean that R2, like, does R2 know how powerful Grogu is or could be? Did he like tell Luke, "Hey man, we got to go"? Like, did Luke say he saw this beacon or whatever talking to R2, and R2 was like, "What kind of beacon?" "No, you got to go see that, because that might be the little homie Grogu I was telling you about. We need to go get him." Like, what is that how's that gonna play out? But no, that whole thing, man, like from top to bottom, you know what I'm saying? And I saw it, they was memeing the homie, and we was cracking jokes a little bit about it, but like, you can't be mad, or you can't make fun, even though it was kind of funny, but you can't make fun of like the emotional reactions to this, because if you have to understand what this means to people, like what this is, and it's not just what it means in terms of, oh, Luke Skywalker's a great hero and I want to have the Force and do, like, no, we get what we watching, you know what I'm saying? But it's like this, I always tell my wife, because she always is like, "Why is this so interesting to y'all, and why are like all of these dudes like so caught up?" And I'm like, you got to understand, like, this is like our soaps, this is our dramas, this is for dudes. This is where we go to get lost in and get away and escape from reality. This is our escape. So in that moment, like, yeah, once the show is off, it's back to life, back to reality on some soul to soul type stuff. But it's like we in that moment, you just letting go. You just completely letting go. And when people, you see the emotions start overflowing, man, you got to understand there are certain people who didn't just invest their entertainment time. There are some people who've invested their time from a creation standpoint, and from a blood, sweat, and tears. Like, my hard-earned money went into creating or doing something for this property or this IP that I love so much. And it was I wasn't doing it with the idea of trying to make money. I was doing it because I loved it. And in business, these things kind of happen and stuff gets twisted up. But the point I'm making with that is that for some people, it was way deeper than just Luke. You know what I mean? It was way deeper than just Luke being back. It was them kind of putting aside the hurt that they have felt personally from some of the decisions that have been made, not necessarily in terms of the creative of Star Wars, but more so from Star Wars from a corporate perspective. And and how they, because of some of that, associate a lot of that with what they've seen on screen recently. Like the sequel trilogy, for people, it triggers them, but it's triggering for a multitude of reasons. You know what I'm saying? And in this episode, they found a way to basically write a love letter to fans that, like, I put it like this. The Rise of Skywalker to me is like when you cheat on your girl and she find out, so you try to go buy her a Lexus. You know what I'm saying? It's like you want to give her, you're like, okay, look, I know I messed up. I'm sorry. But here go this Lexus I know you've been wanting. And she's sitting there looking at you like, you don't even get it. It's not even about the Lexus. It's not even about that. That's how we felt. You know what I'm saying? And now you get this, and that's like the dude that then sits down and writes the Boys to Men Down on Bid the Knee song. And then you just like, oh, all right, I forgive you. It's cool. Like, in that whole moment, I almost wanted to go give Kathleen Kennedy a hug. I sobered up real quick though. It's real quick. But like I was low key just really, really, really like over the moon with that, man. But ultimately, once you come out of that, you automatically start asking the questions, okay, so now what? And I know you
Right.
had some ideas
Most
about
definitely.
where this is gonna go because once Grogu and Luke leave, Grogu, Luke, and R2 leave, you're left on the ship with Moff Gideon still in custody. Din Djarin still has the Darksaber. And
Right.
Bo-Katan is right there. And I don't think she's going to forget that she wants that Darksaber. And that she wants it the right way. Like she's not trying to have Din just hand it to her.
Just hand it to her, right.
Right.
Which brings me back to like Josh's thing to where like Sabine, what I remember, didn't Sabine just straight up give it back?
Yes.
So and you know, she took it then in that moment. So and now that was another question that I was going to have to ask before I get into my complete where I think they're going to go. But before we get into that, we'll be back after these messages with these super chats.
Let's see.
So of course we had the main T-Red pop in. He said felt like with the $5 holla, thank you.
Appreciate it.
He said felt like R2 was hesitant due to being tortured by Yoda in the Empire, so he was not like too happy to see him, but he was, you know, he was just ecstatic that it was him. I don't know too much about Yoda in that moment torturing him, so that's probably something Al probably chime in on. But I don't know. From what I got out of looking at that transaction in that moment, I thought he seemed like he was happy to see him. I feel like he was like, "Oh, my man, he made it. Remember me? I used to be with Anakin. No, this is Luke. Luke is cool. Luke is his son. He's a good side." I feel like that was the type of conversation that they was having in that moment. And then he was like, "All right, cool, dude. You can pick me up. Let's go."
Yeah, exactly.
I felt
exactly.
You got anything? I don't know about the Yoda torturing.
I had to think about it for a minute, but yeah, I think R2 knows the difference between Yoda and Grogu. Like I don't think R2 came around that corner and was like, "Oh shit, another one of them little green dudes." Like I don't think that's the way he was going with it, but maybe there was some hesitancy there because maybe R2 kind of saw some of the stuff that Grogu was capable of when he was on Coruscant. Like maybe that's where it came from. Maybe that was the thing. Maybe Grogu was manifesting some of these dark side-ish type powers, and when he backed in, and it was like, oh snap, like this one's we got to keep an eye on this one or something like that. Right. But no, I don't think it was a PTSD thing for R2 at all though. Don't think so.
Right. He said Geologist B with the $4.99. Thank you very much. He said deploy the like, take my money.
Yeah.
Yes,
what
sir.
He said.
Yes, sir. What he said.
Yes,
smash
sir.
that like button, man. Just cause.
Just
if you haven't yet, just go ahead and do that. Okay, so question. Boba Fett said that they turned Mandalore to glass. So where does that put us in this present timeline with the Mandalorian? Because didn't we kind of almost figure that out within the past? Like we were saying that it was destroyed, so there's a chance that they had already rebuilt it by now.
Right. So no, I think so from what I gather, the prevailing thought or the general consensus is that the Empire came through like Snoop and crushed the buildings on Mandalore. Like they came and wiped the planet out and basically made it to a point. But Bo-Katan made a point of saying don't in the episode where she first appeared, telling Din Djarin not to believe everything he hears. So I took that to believe that we may not necessarily know exactly what the fate of Mandalore is yet. That the Empire may want people to think Mandalore is inhabitable and that, you know, there's no way to redeem it or recover from it. And that might not necessarily be the case. And I think Boba is in that same boat where Boba isn't necessarily privy on exactly what happened on Mandalore either. Like he's heard stories.
Exactly.
And so him saying it was turned to glass is based off of what he's gathered from what people have told him. And so I think in season 3, whether that's or even in the Boba Fett show, we'll find out exactly what the fate of Mandalore was, and that Mandalore, the planet, is going to play a huge, huge role in both the Boba Fett show and the Mandalorian going forward.
Right. So yeah, pretty much that's what I feel. I feel like they removed Grogu from this whole thing now. We probably don't be surprised if we don't see him pop back up at all in the next season, and don't be surprised if we don't see him pop back at all. I mean, at all. Like, to me, I feel like this was the hook. Getting Grogu or Baby Yoda on the show, setting up Din Djarin to show his type of integrity, see what kind of character he is. He's going to carry it out to the end. If you charge him with something to the death, he's either going to try to, he's going to do what he's got to do to it, or if he can, pawn it off on somebody else. So now we have a brand new Baby Yoda with that dark saber.
Yeah.
So I feel like this whole season 3, I don't feel like when we pop back on, it's going to be, okay, well, we got to fight for this. Let's go. I feel more or less Bo-Katan is going to go the route of telling him everything that's going on with the darksaber, telling him, how she lost it or whatever the case, why she's been chasing after it, what's behind it, what's the deal with Mandalore, all of that. And we're going to get to go to Mandalore. And this whole season, we'll see more of Pedro Pascal, because there's a couple reasons why now he'll probably take his mask off. Of course, because of his arc, because of now he's feeling like, he doesn't have to wear it as much. He's around other Mandalorians and all that types of stuff. Plus, being on Mandalore, being around other types of Mandalorians in that case, he's around his people. So on both ends, he has reason to be comfortable to not wear his mask.
Right.
So we're going to see more of that. We're going to see what condition Mandalore's in. We'll probably travel around to other planets to serve that purpose. But I feel like now the Mandalorian, show is going to be more about that. Now.
Yep.
Not anymore about too much. Like, of course, we're going to have our Jedi cameos. They'll serve their purpose. We'll get other characters in there now. They'll probably still cameo like Ahsoka and other stuff in the shows that eventually they'll probably get to a point where they can do like crossovers and stuff like that. Because the streaming show seemed like a higher budget TV show to me. You know what I'm saying? You get a higher budget, so you get a little bit less of the cheesiness that you would get on like a CW show. Because they have to go that route because they ain't got the money.
Right.
So they decided, you know what I'm saying? Now we got the money. They ain't going to do that to us. And then Gideon, I feel like he's going to wind up going on to another show. I don't feel like we're going to get too much more of Gideon on here anymore.
Okay.
And and the Boba Fett, I see people talking about, it's going to be that's what season 3 is like. Now we're moving into the Book of Boba. We're not going to talk. No. Boba Fett's going to get his own show. And they didn't want to put that on the investors because that would have ruined the entire season finale of Mandalorian. You know what I'm saying? If they'd be like, oh yeah, you're getting a Boba Fett show's coming, blah blah blah, and then how they ended that, come on, like no. So Boba Fett's gonna get his own show, but it's gonna premiere at the same time as the Mandalorian. So because I'm hearing it's supposed to come out around Christmas too, so they're gonna be doing like 2 shows at a time. So that's gonna be its own little separate thing, and of course, like I said, play its part. So now we're gonna get down to the Mandalorian, focusing on the actual character of the show, Din Djarin, and I feel like he's going to go through his journey with the darksaber through this, at least for the first half of it. I don't feel like she's going to try to fight him to get it back, to get that power. I feel like she's going to go the route of more or less, well, at least it's in a trusted Mandalorian hand. We'll show you our way. And not the foundling way or the dark ages or whatever the dark part of the Mandalorian that he was on is they're talking about. And he'll go on his journey that way.
Gotcha.
And you'll see the two, because this is kind of reminded me of a book I read called The Mage. And there's 2 books. And the first one is kind of, he doesn't know that he's like a mage. He doesn't know he has these powers or whatever in the first book. And then by the end of it, he learns more about his creed and where he came from and all that types of stuff. And then the second book is that coming to power book, to where he's embracing his powers and turning over how the kingdom was and all that types of stuff. So I feel like this is where they're going to go with Din Djarin now. He's going to have that coming to power, learning more about being the entire Mandalorian, and go from there. So, and I'm gonna keep it ambiguous, because after they pulled that Luke full on CGI, man, you don't know what they're gonna do
I'm
anymore.
telling you.
For real, for
No,
real, for
that's
real.
that's
So
the thing, man.
that's as far as I'm gonna go on that speculation.
That's what's up.
It's just safe.
No doubt. And I think you're right. Like I think I'm not I haven't decided yet whether I think Bo is going to really make a play for the Darksaber or if it's going to be a situation like you said where she says, "You know what? You've got it. I'm not going to fight you for it, but let me get you caught up and let you know how things really go," or something like that.
Because I feel like she'll go the route of more or less, okay, I kind of got it back because at least he's willing to give it to me, but I can't just take it. So she could be a bit of an influence, even though she's still kind of the princess.
Yeah.
And then, and they can play off of that dynamic period. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know if Mandalore has like a king and queen type deal, but one thing that we have not gotten yet with Din Djarin's character is a love interest.
Right.
And, because Grogu kind of had that spot. No type of funny business or nothing like that. But, he was his focus.
Yeah,
that
was
yeah, different kind of love interest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, like you said, he didn't have time for that because he was so, invested in his mission. He's like, I don't have
exactly.
time. Yeah. No,
right,
100%.
and you can't take the mask off, and they kind of like tried to play with that in
episode 3. Yep, episode 3 of season 1. They tried that with giving him somebody, some semblance of a love interest, but he kind of he curved her real quick.
That's that to me. I feel like that was kind of for the people. It was like us, the viewers.
Oh
like, hey, this is why we can't necessarily give him a love interest for people who might be out there being like, who is it going to be, or why doesn't he have one? So now I feel like, the dynamic of him being able to take his mask off and all that type of stuff. Maybe she's going to train him with the Darksaber, show him about Mandalore, let him, be that tutor, be that teacher for him. They could give him a love interest in that and play off of that dynamic. So there's a few different ways that they can go. I feel like, again, like I said, you're going to get Sabine. I feel like she's going to pop in somewhere, and that's going to be what the season 3 episode 1 twist is going to be.
Okay.
Something might pop down. Maybe they still get in some more trouble. Some more of the remnants show up. There's still technically dark troopers, I think, on the I know he said activate the dark troopers, but I don't feel like that was the whole.
Yeah.
I feel like that was just a platoon, not all of the platoons.
No doubt.
So, they could play that off and maybe activate some other dark troopers somewhere else or something like that. And here comes Sabine saving them. But I feel like she's going to show up for real season 3. I still feel like, girl, I agree with my man. I feel like, girl, it was Sabine.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think there's definitely still a possibility that she was. And I'm interested to see, even if she wasn't, if that character plays a role going forward, or if, this was just like, a throw in, because I'm like you. I feel like it was a little bit more to that. Real quick, let me get this. Jonathan Velasquez with the
right after
$2. Yep, after these messages. Man, I missed those. But he said Luke just adopted a force choking cookie snatcher. You ain't wrong, bro. You ain't wrong about that. Then we had OG fan coming through with the $5 super 2-way. Appreciate you. Said this is the Luke Skywalker we were looking for. The fandom has been healed with this season of The Mandalorian. Anything is possible in Star Wars now. Yes, sir. Most definitely. Like, it's so much. And there was a post-credit scene, but I'm going to save that. I want to save that for next week, and when we do After Dark, because I want to really get into some of that stuff. But, I really want to kind of stay on this Luke thing, because we got the hotline open, and so here in a minute, I might want to see if somebody wants to come in and let us know what that Luke scene did for them. But it was, as in terms of what we get going forward, I think it sets up a really interesting dynamic for the Mandalorian going forward, because it looks like the show is going to end up focusing more on the Mandalorian and moving away from necessarily being the Grogu show. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right. Now, exactly, because that's what it was.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the question that I have, and I think a lot of people have, is that what is going to happen when with Grogu? You know what I mean? I think we all have that question, but I think, and my thinking, the way I think about it is, you created so much of a following with this little dude that just from a business standpoint, you can't afford to shelf him. Like, that's a cash cow right now. You got to milk that. And so that means to me that we are going to get him sooner rather than later again, somewhere. Yeah, and so then the question becomes, where do we see him? And the thing that is so brilliant and that they could do is, what if they teased Grogu in everything?
Okay, I knew you was gonna get there. I didn't want to
So
steal it from you.
what if Grogu is like the carrot that they dangle in front of all of these shows?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we had him for the Mandalorian. So then what if he now becomes, Luke and Grogu's adventures, and they end up crossing paths in like a 2-episode arc in Ahsoka. And then you have the New Republic show with I can't even think now, with Cara Dune, yeah, and they pop up in an episode of that. So it's like, they can essentially set up something to where you can start using Grogu in that way, or do they go the route of saying, we are going to create a show to basically explain how Luke got from the Return of the Jedi to the Force Awakens? Because, and this is something that I know Josh has been heavy on, is that this gives you an opportunity to really explore that evolution in Luke, and to really see what, to really give some credence to him drinking that green or blue or whatever color titty milk it was. You could get a show that basically makes that make sense. I'm not saying that people will like it and accept it and be okay with it all of a sudden, but if you give people a through line to say, this is how Luke ended up there, and you tell that story in a way that makes sense, you could totally you could retcon the sequel trilogy in a way that doesn't devalue any of what you got in those stories. Right. And I think about it needs context. That's it. Problem is. That's it. That's all. That's all that it is context. And and again, there are always going to be people, and I totally understand, that are not going to be down with the sequel trilogy. They don't want to have anything to do with it. They want, in their mind, they're like, we just want to forget about it. But there are also people like myself that are like, okay, cool. Well, we got the sequel trilogy. I really wasn't down with it, but it's a part of the canon. So if there are ways to strengthen that part of the canon, I'm down for that. And imagine this. Imagine a show where Luke and Grogu are kind of, going throughout, and it may not even be a show to start. Let's say the first, act of this whole thing is the two of them meeting, which we got at the end of this episode. And then that kicks off these little mini adventures with Grogu and Luke, where we see them, maybe he's training him, maybe he's trying to get to know dude or whatever, or maybe they get pulled into these little side quests or whatever. But eventually this turns into Luke deciding it's time for him to rebuild the Jedi Order. And he starts with Grogu, or he and Grogu go around and they start rounding up other potential Force sensitive students. And that's and that is we see basically the foundation and the formation of Luke's academy. And somewhere in that Ben Solo gets involved. And he takes and Luke takes Ben. And so we get a show where you see Luke training these Jedi, but you start to see the seeds of dissent or the dark side kind of at play, because of the fact that Luke, or because of the fact that Ben is being corrupted by Snoke during this entire time. So we get scenes where, Snoke is playing with Ben Solo's mind, and we don't really, and Luke isn't aware of it yet. You know what I'm saying? Or we could even get in the show the scene or the event where Luke and Snoke meet, because apparently they had a conversation and they did cross paths previously, according to the lore. So if that's the case, we could see that in this show. And so, imagine all of that kind of culminating in Ben Solo destroying Luke's academy, and Grogu being like, not this shit again. Because remember, my dude was there when it, and here's the thing about that is so interesting, right? What if you get that, and then Grogu basically escapes and goes into hiding? Now, you think about that. That means that's on two different occasions that Grogu has seen the Jedi fail. And not just failed, but failed miserably. Because Order 66, the Jedi failed miserably. Because they had Palpatine under their nose for a good, 25 years before they realized this dude was like the Emperor? You know what I'm saying? And then Luke's own nephew turns his back and like burns his whole academy down, and Luke had no idea of it, or Luke had an idea of it and couldn't do what was needed to be done in that moment.
Like the Jedi obviously are kind of like those good people who get caught up in bad relationships. They see all the signs, they see it coming, but they're like, I can still save this person. That's why
I don't understand why Cap ain't a Star Wars fan like that.
Right. I don't know. It doesn't make much sense why.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And so my thing is, imagine we get that, and then what that could do is, because the Jedi Temple or Luke's Jedi Academy gets destroyed, Grogu has to go into hiding, right? So imagine Grogu's in hiding this entire time, and then when we get back to, this new movie that's coming out that we think is going to be set after the sequel trilogy, we get Grogu's return. Okay. And Grogu at this point is, a little older, a little more mature. He understands some shit. And he's like, you know what? You Jedi keep screwing shit up. Like, y'all can't get it. Y'all don't get it right. So I don't feel like I don't subscribe to the Jedi anymore. Right. Like, y'all got it wrong. And so that could be, either the beginning of evil Baby Yoda, or that could be the beginning of Yoda Grogu reestablishing what the Jedi Order will be moving forward. And that could be your way forward in Star Wars, is with Grogu training the new Jedi. And that's a perfect way for you to totally sidestep Rey. Because if anybody would have, if Grogu is still around post Rise of Skywalker, I feel like he would have more of a right to establish a Jedi Order than Rey would. Like, I get that Rey did her part and everything else, but Rey is not, in my opinion, it has nothing to do with her being a female or anything like that. But just, you look at Grogu's been trained under Obi-Wan, potentially under Anakin, potentially under Yoda, and then Luke. Like, come on, man. Like, Rey got the Jedi for Dummies book, and all of a sudden was like, I got this. I'm a master now. I've got it. Nah, bro. Like, Grogu could be the one to put it in. So that's what, that's where I see it going with him, is them using him to kind of boost the rest of these shows, and then then putting him in a place where he sets up the future of Star Wars going forward.
Gotcha. And you'll get Al back here in just a second after these messages.
Yeah. I'm loving it, man.
Gotta give him a break anyway. He probably needs some more of that after dark roast. But we got OG Fan. He came through earlier with the $5 holla. Thank you. He said, the Book of Boba Fett. Boba running a crime syndicate like Godfather in space. Like I always say, Boba Fett is the most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy. Yeah, man. I'm really interested in what that dynamic for that show.
Yeah, for real.
It's finally he's making his return. You got Nerd Central with the $1.99. Thank you very much. He said, seeing Luke's return has brought balance in my life.
Facts.
Brother. What Al just said.
Facts.
You got Justin Chandler with the $2. He said, Bo gonna do some Starscream sneaky stuff for real. Yeah, that's what I feel.
Man.
I feel like scheme it away from him. She's not gonna just blatantly try to fight him and take it. She'll find a way to get that off of him. We got Darth Kenobi coming back with the $4.99. He said, man, Boba was like, okay, I did my good deed. I'm finna go be Ratchet again.
Seriously.
Totally frustrated to go back into the old ways. It's like, okay, cool. She wasn't talking what she wants. That's fine. This is what I'm going to do. You got Nell Boogie the Boogiest with the $3.99. Thank you, sir. You should Al with the fire theories. Much love, dudes. Thank you, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes. 1 second. We're back.
Yes, and we're back.
Maybe we should do that.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, I think we found the formula, man. I think we found it.
Most definitely, man. I know. I'm excited, man, to see where we're gonna go.
Yeah,
from
no
here
doubt.
in Star Wars. That's definitely something I'm interested in and seeing. And I'm interested in the fact that we have Darth Stewie and Peter Griffin in here. All we need is Lois. We need to get Cleveland up here and my man Joe.
Yeah,
Joe
man.
and Quagmire. Yeah, especially Joe.
That's what's
That'd
up,
be
man.
hilarious. So what do you think, man? You think we should get into the hotline?
I was just finna say, man. I was just finna say.
Yeah, because I feel like we already got somebody in waiting right now.
Okay.
And it's everybody's favorite little asshole of the nerds, the den of nerds. It's T-Rev. Super T-Rev. What's up, man? Can you hear us, buddy?
Are you there?
Eh?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
We got you loud and clear, man. What's good?
All right.
What's up, man? Hotline's open, y'all. I'm gonna pop in the hotline. What's good? Soup?
Well, it's pretty good. It was my dad's birthday today, right? So just I finished the supper and I came back home and was watching you guys, right?
That's what's up. Happy birthday to Papa T-Rev.
Yes.
I appreciate that, fellas.
No doubt.
So you guys I want to go along with what Al was saying, like how we felt about the Luke scene. And all
that's what we want to know, man. Tell us.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm around your age, Al. This was when I was watching it. I was like I had little tears of happiness kind of coming out of me as I was watching it. It's like that's everything we ever wanted. If you read the EU books in the 90s, the early 2000s, and all that kind of stuff, it's all the Luke Skywalker you've been waiting for 30 something, almost 40 years, right?
Like, right.
Like obviously the Luke we got in Last Jedi wasn't anything anyone wanted. Yeah. So and to see this, man, blew my socks off. You know what I mean? Like and to have it mirror the Rogue One Darth Vader scene fairly well, like, you know what I mean? It's just like it was excellent. I loved it.
Agree, 100%. So let me ask you this question: when you saw the X-wing pop up, did you immediately go to Luke, or were you thinking it was misdirect?
My initial thought was Luke. I was like, is that the Red 5? Is that the Red 5? But at the same time, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, there's no way they're doing Luke.
Right.
I understand, like, it's everything.
Right.
It's everything's leading up to Luke, but like it's like there's points that saying like Luke's obviously the only really other Jedi, unless they bring up Mace, unless Cal Kestis survived, unless it's an unknown dark side user or unknown other person that we don't know about, right? So, but like when I saw the X-wing, I was like, man, if they're doing Luke Skywalker, that's
right.
And then everything we ever wanted. But yeah, like I was like 50-50 that it was Luke or some kind of Filoni trapper wolf person.
Yeah.
Right.
So was I too. Because he was like, no, that's Luke. And I was like, I don't know, man. It could be Ezra still. And I think it was when he saw the saber and the glove and all that stuff. He was like, nah, for sure. That's totally Luke. Ain't nobody else.
Yeah.
The moment you saw him walking down the hallway, walking down the hallway and hitting like on the security camera, I knew it was Luke then.
Yeah.
But,
like, I was still holding out, bro. Like for me, I remember the exact cut, the exact scene is they cut back to Luke, like not on screen, but in person, and he swings this corner, and he comes out and he's got his lightsaber kind of hung out like this, and you clearly see the hilt. When you clearly saw the hilt, that was the only moment, or it wasn't until that moment that I felt like, all right, this is it. Confirmed. Yeah. I was like, this is not a drill. This is not a drill. Luke is here. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the
But
point.
yeah, I can honestly say, like, that was one of the most for a nerdy moment, for like a moment in media. That was one of the most big. That was one. Honestly, it's one of the biggest moments I've ever felt as a Star Wars fan, as a Marvel fan, as a DC fan, as all these kind of fans. That was one of the biggest moments I've ever felt watching this shit. And it was only like 2 minutes, and it was just Luke Skywalker doing this shit. But
Right.
Part of my language, guys.
No. You good, man. You good.
No.
But yeah, like that was honestly, it's one of the most fulfilling moments I've had watching this kind of stuff, which is weird, but at the same time, like it's wow.
Yeah,
it's amazing, man. It's amazing.
Moment, you know? And like you said, it's a great point, and it ties it back into Al's earlier point to where, like he said, you know, y'all been waiting for this for like a character that's evolved over 30 years. You know what I'm saying? All that lore, all that history. It's kind of like, to me, if the Snyder, like when the Snyder Cut comes out, you know, if that fixes a lot of some of the issues, they'll never fix it to where it's world's finest for me. But if that fixes a lot of the other issues that spawned out of that period to where, okay, it's acceptable, I probably won't get as emotional, but I will definitely be on that kind of level to where it's like, wow, like, yes, now we can move forward. So like I said, you guys got that closure. You guys got that Easter egg that y'all been waiting to crack open for all these years with Luke, and it being Mark Hamill at that too.
Yeah.
No better. Couldn't be better.
That's it.
I mean, Mark Hamill doing the voice, and I was, like I said, I was blown away. Obviously the CGI was whatever the CGI was, and I hope maybe in the future they'll either keep it the same or they'll go back and clean it up a little bit as technology improves.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they'll probably, if they do a show or if they pop it in a movie, you're going to get a Luke Skywalker with the hood over his face. The majority of the time, I feel like I'm going that route, and then they'll be. It's kind of like how I think that's what I'm saying. I think the Mandalorian was a test. Okay, so you had a whole character, you never got to see his face but once per season. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And everybody loved that idea. So I think you guys still, if you knew, okay, well that's Luke underneath that hood doing Luke type things, I can accept that if I can see his face every once in a minute. Everybody would be cool with that. And
especially now, just know that Luke is possible in all these shows going forward. Luke is there. They're willing to do him in this. They're willing to do, like, if they're adapting the Thrawn trilogy, Luke's obviously the protagonist pretty much. Luke and Leia are the protagonists of that trilogy.
Yeah.
Might adapt it to be Ezra and Sabine or Ahsoka and all that kind of stuff, and maybe Luke will play a lesser role. But man, going forward, it's going to be really exciting. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
most definitely.
That's all I can say.
All right, man. We appreciate you.
Most definitely.
Got a couple other people popping into the on hold.
Yeah, man.
Over, and we appreciate hearing how that.
I'll be in the chat still watching you guys. Take it easy.
Right. Of course.
Be easy, T-Red. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
All righty. Next in, I'm not sure which one of you two was in here first, but next in we are going to bring in Darth Kenobi.
Darth Kenobi, what's good, man?
What it is, man? So my man came back once again. Give him a second. I think it's like he's catching up.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, what is going on, guys?
What's up, man? What's good? Welcome back.
Yes, sir.
Man, it's good to be back in just a short time. Time. Okay.
Oh yeah, man. No doubt.
Right. So I think last time you was on here, we had the 3 questions of, did you think we was going to get a Jedi? And I don't remember the other 2 questions because they're not important. So now that you got your Jedi, now that we know it's Luke, how'd that make you feel?
Yeah, man.
How did that make you feel,
man? I melted, man. Especially at the end when what got me, I was trying to hold it in. I was watching it with the wife and the kids, man. So I had to be OG about it. I couldn't. I got hyped when I saw it. When the X-Wing came in, these was my complete thoughts. I'm gonna tell you. When the X-Wing came in, of course you get hyped. Your immediate thought is that Luke? It's Luke. Luke got the X-Wing, and my second thought was, did Ahsoka get her hands on the X-Wing?
Right.
Like, maybe she did. Like I said, maybe trying to throw us off a little bit, and, go from there. And I wasn't sure about it. It was close, like, to when Al said he noticed it. And, because they showed him walking down the hall, and, he had the cloak on. But I was like, Ahsoka had the same cloak, with her episode.
Yeah, facts.
So I was like, is it Ahsoka? He still hadn't pulled out a blade yet, so I'm still I'm wondering, man. Of course, I'm hoping it's Luke, when I talked to y'all then, I was like, man, they not gonna do Luke because it's just too big,
Right.
Like I
right.
said, he show up and
Uh-oh. Did we lose the
Did we
homie?
lose him? All right, I thought I got sucked out again.
The big thing, like you're not gonna see Luke like that. At least you wouldn't expect to. But man, when they cut scene, because you saw him pull out the saber and started chopping them up. The first scene they showed it, he was on they were looking at him on the screen in on the bridge. And when I saw just one saber, I was like, nah, man, that's Luke. That is definitely Luke, man.
Yeah.
And I lost it. My wife and kids were looking at me like, what is going on? Like, man,
man.
Of course I was emotional, but man, I jumped up off the couch, man. I was hyped. I had my my little saber I had ordered from Court Bath, man. I'm just sitting there swinging at my dang self, man. Like, get him, Luke, man. Like, man, that was, and I was hyped, man. And I was holding it together during the whole thing. And when it got to during Grogu and Mando's little scene, you get emotional. And for me, it was when Luke was just about to head off and looked at everybody and just like, may the force be with you. I was like, oh man, it's official, man. It's it. That's it, man. I dang near melted, man. It was
Nice.
Glorious.
That's what's up, man.
Awesome, man. It's great. It's great hearing all these different adverse reactions to it. Like, and some of them being in line with us, some of them on their own tip. It's just, it's great, man. It really is.
It's a beautiful
great
thing.
moment. I see Kendall Davis came through with the $9.99. Thank you. He was like, I was wrong when I said I didn't care if Luke came. This is the best episode in streaming history. Best part for me is when my wife saw Luke and it was like, oh, it all makes sense now. Love the dead. Yeah. See? Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing, right? And I want to know how you feel about this one too, Dark, because like that's the thing. Like, it's not just for us, Star Wars being super, super cool and being like this amazing thing that we all get into, but it's sharing Star Wars with people. Like you talked about, being with your fam and them experiencing and seeing your happiness and whatnot. And, you got Kendall talking about, his wife and her finally putting two and two together.
See, it hit you too.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. It's like you realize it's bigger than just like Luke. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to take, and this is for people who might be sitting there watching and still going, I don't know what the hell the big deal was. Like they got this character. You got to understand, man. You got to take this and look at this.
Thing.
Yes, and not even that, but I'm gonna take it even bigger than that. Think about 2020, man. Think about the shit we done dealt with this year. Think about all of the ups, the downs, like the questions, the people's lives that then got turned upside down. You got people that can't go. You have people whose pastimes might be going to a ball game, going to the movies, going and out just in public with their family. And you can't do that. And you got, I can speak for myself and say, I've spent more time around my family this year than I have probably the last 3 years combined. And that's just a function of life. You busy, you out in the streets, you nerve engine, you doing what you do. But you still in this moment, this year, have felt kind of cut off from people. You know what I'm saying? Like you've been around, so especially like family, you've been around people for like days and hours on end now, and you still might not have something that you could connect with them on because there's not a lot of options like that. You know what I'm saying? Unless you know, have that instilled with your peoples. But this moment and like what you got in this was you got people who, like, I got phone calls and text messages from people I ain't heard from in a good minute. Like they hadn't reached out all year type stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's not a knock on them. Yeah. It's just that we've all been trying to deal with 2020. Yeah. And you connect and you get this text message from people that like, oh my God, I just saw it. Bro, like it's 2:00 in the morning. My best friend hit me up today and was just like, oh shit, dude. Like I stayed up till 4:00 to catch up because he hadn't seen a single episode of this season. He stayed up binge watched last night, and then he caught the last 3 episodes today. So he got the last 3 today, and he hit me immediately after seeing the last one and was just like, I can't believe it. And so, you know, Darth, I want to ask you, man, like, how does it feel for you to be able to share this type of shit with your family, man? Talk about that real quick and let people who might not understand it know from your perspective, man, how that feel.
Man, it was awesome, man. Like, it gave me so much life, man. Like, that's what it was. It was life. You know, just
Yeah.
you know, my kids, like I said, I'm you know, dad. So it wasn't my wife I was worried about. She know me, you know what I'm saying? But you know, me and my kids, we always messing around.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I had to keep it together in front of my kids, man, because they gonna clown me. You know, dad, you know, he crying and this and that. So you know, I had to, like I said, I had to keep it OG, but. Man, they saw how important it was, though. Man, they saw how real it was.
Yeah.
You know, either way, like, okay, this is real. You know, like, it's official. Like, you know, Dad Star Wars, you know, fan. It's not just
it's not a game.
He likes it.
It's
right,
not a
exactly.
game.
It's not a game, man. Like, it's real. Like I said, it's life, man. Like, you know, I might have created some. You know, even more hardcore Star Wars fans in that moment. You know what I'm saying?
Bingo.
Seeing how much I liked it. You know, because my kids like Star Wars, but you know, they not on my level, of course.
Right.
You know, but you know, after that they might be.
Bingo.
You know, they running around.
Right. That's
with
the thing.
they little toy Luke saber. But look, oh man, my little 3-year-old had me rolling with the Luke scene. He just had his little saber just, you know, dropping it. I'm like, come on, man, it ain't over yet.
Yeah.
Hey, he knew what the business was.
Yeah, he did.
But man, it just gave so much life, man.
That's what's up.
It was real.
Awesome.
I loved it.
Awesome. All right, one more question before you go. Do you think we're going to get to see Mandalorian in its condition in season 3?
I think so, man. I think, you know, people are saying it's going to be one show, but I think it'll be, you know, I think it'll be 2 different shows.
Yeah.
I think Boba, you know, he, like I said, he gonna go do his ratchet thing. You know, he wants to go. He got his throne. He wanted. You know, he been talking. Oh, I never said I was Mandalorian. No, he wasn't ever worried about that. You know, he did his little good deeds. So you know, he's gonna go rule his throne. You know, maybe he might get some Mandalorians coming back to him saying, "Hey, man, we need you to go handle up." You know, and that'll make him hop in on it. You know, like you said, do the little Game of Thrones thing they got going. You know, but I think I'm still wondering. I got so many thoughts about how it's gonna go with Bo and Mando, because I'm sitting there like, you know, they showed the end credit scene. I'm like, man, what happened? You know, Bo, because it stung. Bo, you can tell it hurt. You know, like, man, I told y'all, don't leave Gideon alone.
Right. Exactly.
You know,
right.
That was like
right.
She should have been more detailed, though. She more details in that.
Yeah.
You know, what was he going to do? He had to, you know, he wasn't just going to
defend himself, honestly.
Right.
Yeah, that's
he
it.
didn't go
he
after
wasn't
him.
let him get Grogu, or, you know, he wasn't going to let him die or dead himself die in the process.
Yeah.
And he couldn't let him hold on to the saber the whole time. You know, so he had to do what he had to do. You know, so
exactly.
It makes me wonder, you know, is it going to start off next season? You know, are they going to be helping each other out? You know, is she just going to be okay with it? And if that happens, is she going to, you know, is it going to eat at her so much at some point to the end where, you know, she F it, let me go on and take it now. You know, let me get some power, you know. Do she really think she can mess with Din like that? Because she's seen his skills, you know. Because I know Moff, she would have took out easily. You know, she got them out. Bo, like I said, Bo been savage, man. Since she was Death Watch, she ain't ever gave her gave her F.
Yeah,
you know. So that's what I'm wondering. Is she gonna go ahead and take out Din anyway, or try to? You know. So
we'll see.
So many thoughts, man. I'm ready for it though. Like
all right,
said,
man.
I'm here for it.
Well, we appreciate you, man. Appreciate you coming through yet again.
Yeah, man.
Y'all thanks for having me. Y'all be easy, man. They just finished loading up my truck, so I ain't gonna be chatting as much, but I'm gonna still be listening.
Hey, that's what's up, man.
We here for it. All right, man.
Y'all take it easy.
Yeah, man.
All righty. And I seen you, Dan Mitchell, earlier with the $5 holla. He said, who has Mandalore? Because it ain't Gideon. That's a good question. Because the last thing I remember us going through, especially on them Sunday watch parties, was my man Darth Maul.
Yeah.
When he had it. So that is a great question. All right, so we have a few people in here now. I remember right after Darth Kenobi, we had the Grand Guru 1127 with that nice little theory from Thursday, which was pretty damn close. Pretty damn close. Can you hear us, man? Oh, it popped him back out. Let's try it again. Let's try it again.
And real
On
quick,
we
got him up.
Oh, he's in there.
Oh, there we
you
go.
All right, guys. Hey, what are you guys doing?
Oh man, you know, chilling, man.
You know?
Chilling. How you guys still chilling, man? I'm still shaking.
Boys,
boys, what did we see?
Greatness, man. Greatness.
Right. Some beauty.
Yeah, no, I was never happier to be wrong, right? You know, I definitely called Cal, but my hopes were there with all of you, with Luke and you know, the X-Wing coming in. You know, I said it in chat. My first movie was actually Star Wars in '77. In Winthrop, Mass. I went to see it with my cousin. And then from every year on, me and my brothers, my mom would pull us out of school and we would actually play hooky on the opening day of Empire. We went and saw that. We went and saw Return of the Jedi. And then I carried that on with my son all through the prequels.
Nice.
So, you know,
Awesome.
Seeing that brought me back, boys. And it really helped me recover from some of the sequel stuff, right? You guys know I'm big EU, right? Legends guy. And I remember reading in the books and seeing Luke take down an AT-AT with force powers, man. Right? You know, or take his saber and let it go and then whip around and take out like 5 different guys. That's what, you know, seeing him go through all those dark troopers like they were butter was basically showing the power of Skywalker, and it was nice to see, right? Because you saw what one of those things did to Din, and Luke just sliced through him, right? So awesome. I was super excited, and I really am excited to see what happens in the Book of Boba.
Most definitely.
Oh yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
A lot of us are waiting to see what they're going to do with that, and that's going to be a super interesting dynamic, especially going forward from here. Like, is it possible we could still see, like my man Al was saying earlier, that we see Luke and Grogu show up on that show, plus all the other ones? Where does it fit? What are we going to be doing with it?
I'm with Al and everything. So this isn't the last of Skywalker, right? I think
can't be.
No.
Where'd he go? Kind of got muffled on us, man. What you doing?
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
All right. We already know some of the footprints of where we're going, right? So we know we're getting a culmination film. I think we do get the time skip. I think the Book of Boba's real time right after what we just experienced. And then I think Book 4 is the Book of Mandalore, like I was saying. And I think it's where we come back to Mandalorian, the reclaiming of Mandalore, where you see Bo-Katan, you see, you know, Sabine Wren coming back in, because I think they're going to tie the Ahsoka series into that too a little bit. You'll see some of those guys coming into that one. And then it's going to lead into that major conflict with Thrawn or whatnot. And maybe that happens over Mandalore.
Okay.
I got you.
Yeah, that sounds.
I like that.
Yeah, it could be very possible. There's a lot of different ways that they could do with this whole Mandalore Darksaber aspect, man. That's what I'm here for, because I don't know. Like I said, I want to learn. I want to learn about the stuff that they don't talk about. Okay, right. So I want to learn more about the Baby Yodas. I want to learn more about the Mandalorians and how all that stuff came about. I mean, I'm into the Jedis, but I feel like, you know, that's what started the whole thing in the first place, and now you got all this whole other world that branched off from that. So it's like we're always going to get that. You ain't got to worry about it.
Right.
So get what we ain't been getting now. That's what I want to know about. So yeah.
And I think you're right, Lavis. I don't think that
we continue. Like, I think this part of it is Mandalore. I think this is Mandalorian. It's Boba. It's that. It's not Jedi. Ahsoka is Jedi. We see
Right.
Jedi come back in that.
Yep.
But I think the Rangers, we don't see any more Jedi. I think we got our Jedi. I think we blew our load with Luke in the best way, and I don't know that we get something like that. You know, I think Ahsoka's gonna follow it up and hopefully bring something else in there. I absolutely think that that's going to lead to Ezra and Thrawn and all that stuff. And to be honest, you know, like more Jedi the better. You know, to a certain extent, more Jedi the better. But I think they have their place. And I agree with you, Lavis. I don't think the Mandalorian series or the last 2 seasons of it necessarily needs Jedi at all.
No. We need to learn about because we got that aspect with the Darksaber. You know what I'm saying? I think that the Mandalorians, the way that they do them, their people is close to the Jedi. You know what I'm saying? They got their own little sects. Each sect means something different, kind of. You know, they have their own little things that they do within that, and then you know it's all ruled by like a saber of sorts. And you still get a couple. You know, there's a couple Mandalorians that I heard of, or at least people who at least wear that armor that are force sensitive. So now that you remove Grogu from the Mandalorian series, it's easier to try to go into that dynamic of, is Din Djarin force sensitive? And this is going back to what I was saying earlier. Like, I don't mind if they make him that way, just not yet. You know, finish the arc. Let's see where we go. And we see that he kind of believes in that now from the couple episodes ago where he was about to attempt that. So now we can kind of explore that. You know what I'm saying? So,
true.
Yeah, I'm just excited. It sucks that we got to wait a whole year, but that's a whole year of us
100%
trying to come up with our own little speculations.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be the fun part, man.
It's the best way. It's one of the best parts of Star Wars, right? Is the theory crafting, is seeing where we can go. And the nice thing is, I don't think we're shoehorned in any one direction anymore.
No,
which is really what makes this so exciting.
Yes,
I mean, we have a bunch of signposts along the way for the next couple of years, but man, the journey between those destinations is going to be a journey. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah,
most
100%, man.
All right,
Couldn't
man.
have said it better myself.
A few people trickling in here. We appreciate you coming back once again.
Mm-hmm.
Always. It's a pleasure, guys, and thanks for having us, and thanks for what you do every week.
Hey, man, it's our pleasure. Our pleasure, man.
Definitely.
Have a great one, and happy holidays, boys.
Same to you, brother.
Sir.
Love it.
All
Love
right,
man.
So, and I got hit up on the private line by my main Captain Pennsylvania for you, the Avenger.
What'd he say?
What'd he watching this because he heard your comment earlier about him not even know why he isn't into Star Wars all that much. He said he's actually a huge Star Wars fan.
Well, now it makes sense.
Right. Makes perfect sense now.
Perfect sense.
All right, so let me bring this man in here. Is OG fan, Star Wars.
Oh,
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Patiently waiting.
Appreciate you for the patience, man.
You're muted at the moment, so unmute yourself and let us know if you can hear us.
Yep, I can hear you.
There we go. What's good,
What's
man?
up?
It's all good, man.
Love it.
How you doing?
Oh, yeah.
You doing all right?
We making it, man. We making it. Loving it.
Oh, yeah. You guys are making it good, man.
Yeah. How'd you feel about that Luke reveal,
Yeah,
man? That whole
Let us
little
know.
8-10 minute scene.
Oh, man. Yeah. Since 83, man. After waiting for that, you know. I mean, I'm a big Boba Fett fan, obviously. And this year, after they redeemed Boba, and then when he said that line, I'm making my way through the galaxy, and then he threw in like my father before me.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with that Force stream, I was like, oh man, Josh is right. It really is going to be Luke. Al ain't kidding. They're going to ignite the green. This is for real. And when I saw that X-Wing fly in, and then Cara Dune's like, oh, a single X-Wing, we're saved. And I'm like, yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Exactly. You sure is. Yeah, you sure is. So I usually rewatch the episodes like over and over, and then I haven't even rewatched that one yet because I'm still so high from it that I don't want to take away that feeling.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah,
well, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I watched it I've watched it 4 times now, and
wow.
there hasn't been one time where I don't get chills on that scene. Like, I think I will forever get chills for that scene, man. Like, it will never, that will probably be my, I think that might have overtaken the Ahsoka episode for me, man. I think it may have.
Oh man, if it didn't, I'm surprised, to be completely honest.
Well,
I like the Ahsoka aesthetic and the way it was shot, but Luke Skywalker coming in to save the day, like we thought we were gonna get in, those other movies, and then really happening on this one. For me, that was like, all right, I got nothing to bitch about no more.
Right? Yeah, man. That's it.
Done shut me up good.
Pretty much, man. Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. I don't know, man. So the next question, what do you think? You think we'll get some Mandalore in the Mandalorian season 3?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I think
go ahead.
Sorry, I don't mean to overtalk you.
No, you're fine.
I think season 3 and 4 is going to be Din finding his way as a Mandalorian because he's discovering as a child of the Watch, maybe not, that's not how it is for everybody.
Right.
So he's going to learn more and then, culminate in the Battle of Mandalore. I've been saying that the whole time. They got to retake it,
No doubt.
And, who's it going to be?
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's going to be
you got
Boba Fett. You got Din Djarin now wielding that spear and the dark saber. I don't know. He's gonna be tough.
Yeah, I was about to say that does make him kind of a tough person to battle because
you got to come correct.
Right, you know what I'm saying. Plus all that Beskar, like he's a Mandalorian, man. He is a Mandalorian. So
Plus he's the second fastest gun in the galaxy, so I mean he's got a good thing going.
Yeah. You bring up very valid points, homie. No doubt.
But I know you guys got a lot of guys online. I just want to say I've never, I had to join YouTube and to get on you guys' channel and all that. You say I'm an OG. I'm an old guy or getting old. Up. And all this stuff is new for me working from home through COVID. So, found you guys, and man, you guys break down Star Wars like nobody's business, man. I mean, for real. It's when you say who would I watch it with? I watched it with my family, which was After Dark and Josh and you guys,
up,
man.
Right.
So,
that's what's up. I love that.
So I really appreciate what you do. I mean, I think you guys are great. I love it. Al, you set me off sometimes on that, OT trilogy reboot and stuff.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
But
I know it's all in good fun. You know what I mean? You set me off and I love it, man. I love it. So
man.
Keep up what you're doing. You guys are doing great. I wish you all the success. Thanks for producing some great content and really being a part of the community and allowing us to be a part of it. Because, I mean, like this whole thing, I mean, now finally after 30 years, I go, okay, the internet, now I see what it's really for.
Yeah, right. That's what's up. Exactly. Exactly.
It's definitely since you've got mail. It's
man. Oh yeah, AOL dial-up, man. 18 minutes to connect. And you're like, wow, this is awesome.
Yes.
Right.
How it just changed. Like for real.
Yeah. For your eyes too. Before you even know it. That's how it is.
Yeah, it's melting my brain. So thank God for you guys in this 2020 with this pandemic. And these type of shows, I mean, between, yours, Nerd Theory, Josh's Den of Nerds. I mean, Nerdvenger, I go, well, yeah, I mean, I belong to Disney. Why wouldn't I subscribe? You know what I mean?
That's what's
you guys give me as much entertainment or more than, I mean, I watch you more than Netflix. I'll tell you that.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Hey, that means a lot, man. That means a lot to us.
Right. Yeah, I was so glad we could provide, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I appreciate it. You guys got the hustle going good, and I wish you all the success. Thanks very much. Have a great and safe holiday season, guys.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you, OG,
right,
man.
Thanks for taking my call. Appreciate it, sir.
Likewise, man. Have it easy.
All righty. Well, that's nice. I love when these guys come.
I'm saying, man, what you want? Maybe 10, 15 more minutes, and then we skate up out of here.
We can answer a couple more calls. I didn't realize we went that long already. Yeah, we keep doing this.
Yeah, I don't even know what time it is. Like how long we've been going, but feels good. Feels good.
I don't know. I don't know how long we've been
Yeah.
streaming. It says we started 2 hours ago.
Oh,
already.
okay. Well, dang, time flies when you're talking Star Wars.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
We're having
man.
fun with the homies.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So he's another one that's been in here. Has been patient. Let's bring in the homie Gregory Sterner.
What's up, Greg?
Gregory Sterner. What's up?
Hello.
What
Hey.
up, man?
Hello, guys.
What's
Cheers,
good?
fellas.
Yeah.
Likewise.
What's good?
What's
is good, fellas?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That excitement's for from seeing Luke.
Yes.
From getting to ignite the
Yes.
green.
Yeah. Tell us
Did
how.
you get
Tell
to
us how it
ignite the
felt,
green?
man.
How'd you feel?
Yes, my friends. Luke blew me away. I just today had the weekend off. We had a chance to be able to watch the show again. Take my time, pause, back it up, and oh my God, what a great episode!
Yes.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry, I'm an old school type of a guy, and I mean not to like be negative, but a lot of those movies really ripped my heart out as
I feel
a
that.
loyal fan of the original. But this really, really healed my heart. Gave me that little boy feeling again. And come on, this year, bud.
Yeah.
This is the year we need this kind of a healing, guys.
Man.
You know, 2020's been rough. Come on.
Talk it, man.
We all need it.
Yeah.
But
Talk it, man.
guys, Al, Lavis, you guys, you preach, buds. You rock. And Josh too.
That's what's up, man.
I love you guys. You know,
Sure, man.
and this episode really was unbelievable. I said Ahsoka was my best. I withdraw that and say this was.
Oh yeah.
I did not believe Luke came out. I saw that X-wing and said, "What? No, it can't be him."
Yep.
Then I saw the green saber and the robotic hand and said, "Yes, it is him." Oh
Yeah.
my God, I lost it. Then R2-D2, forget it. I was screaming, man.
Yes.
What an episode! And
Right.
him going down, taking out those death.
The Dark Troopers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dark Trooper. Oh my God! I love it, guys. This brought back my love for
Yes.
Star Wars. I was a little boy again. Yes.
Man.
Thank you. Thank you, Favreau. Thank you, Filoni.
I was
Beautiful,
say, yeah,
man.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Disney.
Kevin Feige, we
y'all.
trust.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, and
If
thank
y'all
you
watch-
guys. Hey, happy holidays, folks.
Yes.
Happy holidays indeed,
guys.
homie.
Take
Yes.
care.
Yes.
Yes. Be good, man.
Yeah, be easy, bro.
That's,
I'm telling you.
man, just, again, all the love, man. I hope the Daves and the Filonis and the Feiges is watching, okay?
I
Take these
don't
notes.
think though, low key though, I don't think they have to. I think that's why the episode was so dope, bro.
That's why
Because
it
they
was that
knew
way. Yeah, exactly.
they know. Like and this is the thing, like and this is something I was thinking about, like just listening to everybody right now, right? You go back to last year and you think about Infinity War and Endgame, right?
Mhm.
And remember the way that like we geeked out on like Cap wielding Mjolnir.
Oh yes.
And how
yeah,
like that moment and how that like culminated and how everybody was hyped. I don't know if I'm just living in the moment with this, but I feel like this is bigger than that. Because
I have to agree, just because you guys have that, you have more cinematic history
yes,
than the MCU does.
This is
so
yes.
that's where you got it from mainly. So no, I have to agree with that.
Yeah,
I can't
and
take
the
that.
thing that's so incredible about this is when you think about that, two of, dare I say, the three people that were probably key in bringing this to again, and shout to Peyton Reed again, because his direction on this was incredible. But in terms of the storyline, in terms of what we get plot wise, Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, and maybe to a lesser degree Kevin Feige, but at this point I think it's we know Feige's had to have some involvement in this, just looking at the way this is going, right?
Yeah, man.
Exactly. And so when you look at that, 2 of those 3 people come from that MCU tree, and they had the MCU to perfect and to really trial and error their way to Endgame. You know what I'm saying? So as a Star Wars fan, we're in the best position possible because we've got these 2 dudes that have already worked out the kinks, that already know the formula. They're now adapting that to Star Wars. And just that in itself makes it more powerful because, like you said, Star Wars goes back like generations. Like we hear cats talking about 30 years, bro. Like some of our viewers wasn't alive to know what the OG trilogy meant to people. Like some of us, like me, I'm 38, but I would, you know, Star Wars debuted in 77. That's 5 years before I hit the earth. So there are people that were here, you know, even before me that have an attachment even greater than mine. And you talk about, I heard Theory mention that he saw Return. I think he said he saw the OG trilogy and Return of the Jedi in like 96 or something like that. So you're talking about 20 some odd years after those movies debuted and they were still impacting people. You fast forward to 2020 and just think of this. And this is something that I just thought about this moment. There's somebody out there. There's multiple people out there whose first experience of Luke Skywalker was that episode. Yep. And people that are like, Daddy, who's that? Mommy, who's that? And they're going to go back now and experience all of that. And it's going to bring, they don't even know the Darth Vader connection. These people got into this for Baby Yoda, for Grogu. And now they're going to have their minds blown because they're going to understand that there's a whole nother like side to this story.
Exactly.
And that's what makes this so impactful, man. This is what makes Star Wars and what makes this stuff that we nerd out about so deep, is because you're talking about crossing generations in a time where the average attention span is like something under like 10 seconds. Like you got, you know, we're trying to find the most like efficient, quickest ways to get information or to be entertained and to keep ourselves entertained. People are so quick to change over to something new, flip a channel, go to another page, do whatever. And it's like this moment, this episode made people stop and just really breathe in what we were dealing with and what we got. And so from that respect, man, like you can't underestimate the power of that thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to respect that, because that connects us in a way that like we're missing, I feel like, in society. Like, not to get too deep with it, but like we don't have that as much anymore. Like the feeling of community, that feeling of people, of celebration, of really coming together and uniting for something that everybody's on board for. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sure they're out there, but I didn't really hear, and I haven't seen since that episode, too much negativity. I've heard some blowback about the CGI not being necessarily what it could have been, things like that. But from just an impact standpoint, everything that I've seen is pretty much consistent, that everybody was over the moon with this shit. And so,
most definitely.
Right. And so,
people were like that already with Ahsoka. When Ahsoka popped on screen, that was the beginning of changing everything for people in Star Wars. So
and that's it.
This was
like
the cap.
This was it. Exactly. And this is, it's so brilliant the way they handled it. And it's so interesting for me to experience this with you, because again, like you said, you are not as immersed. And so I'm seeing it through, it's almost like looking at it through your eyes and experiencing it from your perspective, almost like I was sharing it with like a family member or something like that, because I know these things that are like how they fit and connected. It's like you start to watching you connect the dots, like watching you come and ask me stuff about, you know, Boba from Rebels and Clone Wars and how that fits, and like the Mandalorian arc, and hearing you say I'm more interested in what they do with the Darksaber and the Mandalorians going forward. That to me makes me like, it makes me very proud to be a fan and kind of a low-key ambassador for this, because you're finding a completely different entry point, but you can appreciate the level of attachment that somebody like me has to this. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the crazy thing, man. It's amazing to me, man. This is all beautiful stuff, man.
Yeah. Like this is a great ending for them for 2020.
This is a great ending for us for 2020, man. You know, like shit.
Seeing Luke last year being that way was just plain old horrible. And then we got this whole year how it went.
Yeah,
after that.
Man.
I just kind of this. I would say this is the cap, and it brings us back.
There was a line. There was a line in The Force Awakens at the very beginning of that movie where Lord Santeca tells Lord Santeca tells the homie Poe Dameron, he says this will begin to make things right. And that line, when I heard it, I was like, that's what's up. Like, they letting us know. Now, we all know how the sequel trilogy went and everything like that. But the thing about it is, and it's funny because it's kind of meta, but it's like you can't appreciate a thing until you are threatened with the loss of it, or until you lose it. Like you sometimes you really don't have an appreciation of something until you go through some issues or some trials and tribulations, if you will, with that thing. You know what I'm saying? And so it was like I heard that and fans heard that, and then we get the sequel trilogy and everybody's like, this is like making it worse. This didn't do anything to improve Star Wars whatsoever. Y'all are screwing it up, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
We get the culmination of that with The Rise of Skywalker last year. You fast forward 12 months later and you get the payoff to that statement from The Force Awakens, because that episode with Luke was the culmination of them making things right. What really started to make things right was The Mandalorian. Once we got that show, we started to feel like, okay, Star Wars might find its way back to a good place.
Right.
Well, I don't think it's an overstatement to say that like Star Wars has found its good place. Like Star Wars done found it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
sure.
Who else we got, man? Is there anybody else in the hotline?
Oh, we got quite a few people in here.
Oh, but let me shut the hell up and let them say what they say.
Right. Let's hit Mike Porter's $4.99 real quick.
Yeah.
He says, here's what I will say. By watching all the movies, this is the first time in live action seeing a Jedi in training to his full potential, or his full capabilities. Yeah. So yeah, I would have to say that. I don't think you either see them. I guess what, with the exception of no, because even though you get Obi-Wan and later that he's got all the training and everything, he was kind of like forced into that.
Yeah, I mean, when you get Obi-Wan at the beginning of the sequel, even if in the prequel trilogy, he was already, he was a student of Qui-Gon's, but he had already kind of, like his training. I won't say was complete, but we didn't see his evolution.
Right.
We didn't get that evolution.
So, so at least with Luke, you get, even though you get that with the sequel trilogies, it kind of it does bounce a bit. You do get to see him in different facets at the same time, whether you like us how he turned out or not. At least, like you said, well, what we're getting now, it'll bring that context to where it'd be like, okay, I can accept that more because of that. That I would probably go that route too. So, all right, so let's see. Between Chuck Taylor and Cup of Regular, I don't know which one you two were in here. We're in here first, but I'm gonna bring in Chuck Taylor because my man got warned for igniting the green in the chat, and I don't see what that wasn't fair.
Oh no, not at all. Not at all.
So let me bring him in. What's up, man?
What's good?
What's poppin'? What's
poppin'? You have arrived.
Oh yes. So let's indeed get it popping.
Right. So how'd you feel about that, man? How'd you feel about getting that Luke, that ignite the green official? How'd you get that? How'd you feel about it?
To that. All right. So let me say this. Al made a great point about a half hour ago. He's talking about how much family time is getting in.
Right.
Yeah.
So to that, I'm sitting here in the pandemic with my mother, who took me to the original trilogy. I'm 50. I'm a 50-year-old MC. I'm a rapper. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So like,
okay.
I'm at home. Like, you can't do no shows right now. Like, you can't go nowhere. Like,
Like I know a lot of people, so they're all at home. Like everybody is at home. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
so, because everybody's at home, YouTubers took off because like all the rappers is watching y'all. Like we don't got nothing to do. So basically, what it turns into, I'm at the house with mom. Mom does not like sci-fi at all. Like nothing. I can't get her to watch Marvel, no nothing. I can't get her to watch Star Wars. She's like, but she's the one that took me. She's
Right.
like, son, I took you to Close Encounters of the Third Kind and Star Wars and all that stuff because you were a kid.
That's what's up.
All right. Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back. She walked me to the movie theater, let me go at 10 years old and watch the movie by myself. So I'm sitting in the big ass seat, like, with some popcorn, like, yeah, bruh.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So I'm like, I'm my own man. Oh, it's the snow one. Okay, it's not sand this time. Okay, I get it. Then I go to the Return of the Jedi. I'm like, I don't like the little puppet thing, but that Yoda was hella cool. So I'm like, all right, this is a great movie. I like this. Okay, I see the end of the thing, the green lightsaber with Luke. Okay, so I grew up on this. Like 7 years old, 43 years ago, I came out of the movie theater and every kid at school was drawing TIE fighters on all of their papers.
That's what's up.
Every kid at school was drawing Death Stars. Every kid at school was trying to draw a Vader helmet and the troopers. Like this was a third grade thing, like in 1977. Like what it was back in the day, you had to like profess how many times you went and saw Star Wars. So
Yeah.
I'm 7. I'm like, okay, tell him. I'm like, Mom, I gotta go see that. Mom, I gotta go see Star Wars because all my friends are saying they've seen it already like 2 times. So then I go see it once, but no, I gotta see it 5 times because you know Tommy down the street seen it like 16 times with his dad. So I'm like, we going to the drive-in. It's kung fu movies. It's Chuck Norris, Star Wars. Like that was the theme then. Chuck Norris, Star Wars, Bruce Lee. Like that was what you saw back in the day. It was crazy. Fish that saved Pittsburgh. Like afros and Star Wars shirts, man. Y'all gotta imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Like,
That's
what
what's
it was.
up.
So when I seen the X-Wing fighter pull up, y'all, I'm like, yo, that's him. That's it. I didn't have no. I seen their lightsaber hilt, and I'm like, you gotta understand. Like I told you, I'm a rapper. I'm not no type of like super Star Wars lore dude. I didn't read the book.
Feel
I was
you.
a comic book collector in high school, and we could always, you know, like I'm saying, we get a circle, clap our hands, and you know, I take over. I go that way with it. Like I collected stuff, you know, Spider-Man comics, Secret Wars, all that, and I right when it was happening. You know what I mean? Like on the ground, right? So all this was all of pop culture. So seeing you young cats kill it right now is amazing to me. But also just watching like how this whole thing maturated to Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
I shed a thug tear, man. I'm just telling you.
That's
I
real
shed a
talk,
thug tear,
man.
Definitely,
I had
yeah.
to, man. I couldn't do anything about my man feelings, bro. I came into my mom, who took me to the theater at 7 years old, and I cried and I said, Mom, thank you so much. I was able to like tell my mother, like right on the spot, like, you know, in reference to what you were saying, Al, being able to spend that family time in a different way. Like it was crazy, that feeling, bro. I'm with my mother who took me to the theater. I'm sitting in my garage because I just wanted to get outside. I'm watching this thing in the morning because I knew it was going to be dope. I didn't have any question. I've been watching y'all, been watching theory. I'm like, all right, I got my own ideas about what's going to happen. But I'm like, I'm not a super authoritarian. So when I need to know some stuff, I go to y'all or I go to theory. I don't know every little book thing.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
No doubt. No
You know
doubt.
what I mean? So I got to go to y'all and get my feel of like, okay, that's what happened, because I got my own little thing, because I was, you know, I'm from this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember all the original stuff, so I'm just like, yo, as an OC fan, as an original trilogy fan, I got to tell you, Al, you're kind of right. Like the original trilogy did not give us characters that we cared about. They they immediately began to kill people that they didn't build any character background. Like, I didn't care about Luke's uncle and aunt because they were jackasses to Luke,
Yeah, facts,
right?
facts.
And then I didn't really care about Luke's life because I didn't really know who he was or care about his struggle. They didn't give me a struggle. Like, there was nobody that had a background.
I
Yeah,
feel
They
you.
didn't give me shit back in that whole movie that I could really care about other than Han and Chewie, because you're like trying to figure this whole like thing out, this big dog and everything. Like, it's like, all right, that's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to understand what TV was to us back in the day. Like, we
Yeah.
leave the theater and there's fuzzy toys everywhere. We wanted, like, oh yeah, we used to compete with how many figures we had. Like,
Yep.
yo,
I feel you.
I got the Darth Vader with the thing that actually, the slider that actually comes out, like, instead of the one that's stuck on it, and doesn't move. Like, so you had different Darth Vaders, different. The kid who was the rich kids had all the stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you go over what's the name's house, because they had every figure,
All the
the
toys.
whole
Yep.
castle, all the thing. Like, you don't want to go home.
No.
You don't want to go home, bro. It was TV was Buck Rogers, this, like, it was that, like,
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica, like, Star Trek, this, like, everything. So, being able to share that with my mother, who doesn't even like,
Yeah.
cut me off anytime. Like, I'm done. Like, really, I'm just saying, like, it was crazy. Like,
Yeah.
just giving you a landscape of like what it was really like at the time. And you're right, Al. They didn't give us character development in the OG trilogy at all.
Yeah. I mean, and it's like,
I love George Lucas. I live 1 hour from Modesto, where George Lucas grew up.
that's what's up.
And my mom was saying, like, I'm right here. But it's just like, they didn't do it. And I still love Luke, but there was no character development.
Yeah, and I think, with the OG trilogy, though, I think it's a little different because, like, with that, despite what Disney and George Lucas want to tell you now, they didn't know what they had on their hands with Star Wars, bro. Like, they didn't understand how deep and how impactful this was going to be for, like, the next 40 years. They had to go back and retcon all kinds of shit. Like, Luke and Leia was supposed to be, like, a love interest, and then they turned them into brother-sister because they realized, we got to keep this story going somehow, and we got to switch this up. Like, so I kind of forgive the OG trilogy for not really having that character development, but for me, you have
to understand, we never seen nothing glow on camera like that.
Exactly.
We're sitting in the film where, like, when that thing went off, people realizing
what the hell, yeah.
This, yo?
See, and I love, like, your perspective, Chuck, is like what I love to hear because I don't recall that. Like, I don't have that memory of what it was like to first see the lightsaber.
By your age, they already had the Last Starfighter and all sort of other stuff was already popping. So, like, it was cool. We already seen lasers.
Yes.
We never seen no lasers, bro.
Right. And so it's like we get that. I still have that passion and that love, but for me, Star Wars was established already by the time I got hooked on it.
Right.
Like Star Wars.
I'm from the Rubberhead Alien.
Yeah, exactly. And those are the cats that I feel.
Rubberhead Alien.
Yes, 100%, my dude. And you are the people that, like, I connect with, or that I really enjoy connecting with more than anybody when it comes to Star Wars, because y'all can give that perspective of what it was like in '77, like when like this was something that no one had ever seen before.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When people were really trying to figure out, what it was they were actually even watching, like how incredible and how amazing it was. That's the roots of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Stop motion puppets, like, all that stuff. Like, we didn't understand it until it became what it was.
Exactly. And so, when you fast forward 40 years later, man, just you even saying that number, and you talking about a movie series, a movie genre, like, or a movie platform, whatever you want to call it, like 40 years, bro. Like, we talk about 40 years. That's a lifetime for some people. Like, that's so long.
And you would not guess how many rappers, like how many like musicians that all the different people like around the world actually love Star Wars. They're at the house right now watching the Mandalorian with their kids. Like, it's nuts, man. Like, it's a whole different thing. This is really taking the world by storm.
Most definite. For real, for sure. Well, we appreciate you coming on here, man,
yeah,
and giving your
sure,
perspective.
Chuck.
As
Appreciate
always,
you, man.
People in the chat
I got
definitely
nothing else.
appreciate hearing that. So be careful out there, man. Keep nerve engine in these
Yes.
streets. Shoot. We'll catch you.
Yeah, Chuck, appreciate you, man, for real. I'm gonna have
Yes,
to get at
sir,
you on
yeah.
some of that music, man. I want to hear some of your stuff, homie.
Yeah.
I need
Yeah,
I
for
need you to hit me in the DMs or something. Let me know where we can find some of your work.
Yeah, Chuck. Hit him in the DMs, man. So
Yeah,
we
man.
got a couple people left here. Do we got time though? Is the question. Do we
Yeah,
have
let's see.
the
We got two people left. You say, or how many we got in there?
We got 2 people still
Yeah,
sitting.
let's say we get them 2 in. We ask them to kind of keep it to about a minute or so, and then we
Alright.
get up out of here for the peoples, man. It's been dope.
I said that sounds fair. All right, so couple regular, man. Use another one that's been sitting here being
Yeah.
all type of patient. So we're gonna go with you, and then we got Tiki Boy after that, and we are good. Couple regular 55. What's up, man? Up. We had them and it popped them
Had
back
them and
out.
pop them out. Okay.
Let's see. I put them back in there. Let's see what happens. I hear something. Is that you? Couple regular?
Is that me, boys?
There
Sounds
you go.
like it. What's good, man?
What up, man?
What it is?
Ain't nothing, bruh.
Hey, bro, it's your boy Couple Radio, aka Justin Chandler. What's going on, boys?
Hey,
What's good,
up,
man?
Justin?
What's up, Just?
Been talking with them super chats all night.
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
with it.
bro, look, I just trying to drop some love from my dogs. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Totally
Look,
appreciate
bro,
that.
I really appreciate everything you guys do. I'm in the Army, so I'm like, I'm away from my boys, and
Right.
we talk through text and everything with everything that's going on, but you guys make me feel like I'm at home when I'm talking to my boys, just nerding out and gushing over all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
appreciate
Yeah.
everything you guys do.
Hey,
Most
man.
def, man.
For real. Appreciate your service
Look,
first and
man.
foremost, bro.
Yes.
Like, thank you for your
appreciate you,
service,
man.
for real,
Al,
man.
you my dog, bro. You make me laugh all the time, bro. You
That's
guys are
what's
my
up.
dogs, man.
I like it, man. I love it.
I don't know if you remember, Al, like 2 weeks ago, but I had said in like a super chat that I got too drunk and I woke up at like
Oh, yeah.
4:30.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was like, bruh, I made you laugh,
Yeah.
and that made my week. That shit was funny.
Bro, I was dying. I was like, my man was out of there, though.
Right.
I love
Hey,
it, man.
Bro, I got so out of it. Like, I remember I fell in my shower, bro. Like,
Hey.
I was fine, but I was just like, hot damn, like, I ordered food, bro. I don't
Oh,
even remember
man.
doing
Doing it.
that.
Yeah,
I
bro,
woke
we
up
been
with a
there.
bag of mozzarella
Yeah.
sticks next to me.
At least you ate it. At least you
At
got
least
it.
You got it, bro.
Yeah, bro. I woke up at 4:30 and I put on the live stream,
Yep.
and I was just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I missed it.
Oh, man. Beautiful,
But,
man.
Hey man, look, the minute that X-Wing flew in, bro, like
Mhm.
I looked in and I saw the top of R2 and I was just like, nah. I was with Al. I was just like, nah.
Yeah,
there's
me
no
either.
way.
Like, I'm like, wait a minute. So you saw R2 on the X-Wing?
Yeah, bro, like it's really quick, but you see this flash of like white and blue, and I was just like,
Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and look for that.
dog, there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
happy.
what's up, man.
Check that.
And
It
then
was kind of
like
fluid.
he comes in and I was just like, everybody's paused, and I was just like, nah, they ain't gonna do it. There's no way they're gonna do it.
Right.
Because honestly, like I was with y'all. I was like, I thought Mace was gonna come in.
Yeah.
You know, I was 100% hoping Mace was gonna come in because, like, dude, just that, like, I saw the theory, like, Star Wars Theories video on it,
Mhm.
and, like, my boys and I were talking about it, and it's just like, that would be such a poetic ending between Boba and him.
Yeah.
And, like, Boba just, like, get the last win on him. Like, that would just be, because Boba Fett, dude, let me just say something real quick. Like, Fett, I'm 28, so I'm 10 years younger than you, Al.
Okay.
And I've been a Fett fan since I was 6 years old. You know
That's
what I'm
what's
saying?
up. That's what's up.
And like, bro, he is, and I didn't care what anybody said. I don't harsh nobody. It's all love. Like we all do as Nerd Venture. It's all love. But like, you know, when Disney got Star Wars and they were just like, oh yeah, this 40-year lore, now we're tossing that out the window. I was like,
Yeah.
nah, son, that's not how we do things around here.
Big facts. Big facts.
And So I was like, so, we wouldn't have this show without the Fett. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just my personal opinion.
No, you're right, man. You're right.
Right. Yeah.
That's facts.
Like I have been waiting 22 years for this to happen. Because when we're growing up, people go, "Oh, I'm a Sith, I'm a Jedi," and I'm like, "Nah, son, I'm a Mandalorian, straight up." Like I've been a Mandalorian fan since the Fett.
Yeah.
So, just getting this show alone, I was like, my people finally getting a spotlight.
Yeah,
that
I feel
is
you.
so needed. And I try not to hate on the sequels, but like I'm in the same boat as y'all. It just wasn't my thing.
No, I
you know
got
what
you.
I mean? But like I never walked away from a Star Wars movie and been like, I'm so disappointed. I'm so empty. I never felt that before in my life seeing a Star Wars movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so just seeing like Boba come back as a whole, bruh. Like, man, that shit was fire. But then Luke coming in, man, I'm not gonna lie, I felt 10 years old again. I didn't cry, but I was on the borderline of that shit, man.
Yeah.
For real. Like, he just came in and it was like watching a dance.
Yeah.
It was so smooth.
Yes, he was.
That it was.
Just so like, and he looked, man, if you could have told me that was Luke, I would have thought that was Anakin, straight up.
Facts.
Like just because like Anakin's so like strong, but he used to move so slow when he was just Anakin, and then when he was Vader, he's just an absolute tank going in there, just chopping fools up.
Yeah.
Like showing up, you know what I mean? Like he's the master.
Yeah.
And then just watching Luke come in, like I was just kind of like, all right, like X-Wing, 100% that's Luke. I knew that from the get-go. And then he started coming in and he started wrecking house. I don't know if y'all thought, but like it was very they nailed the Return of the Jedi feel of him.
Facts.
Facts. Like nailed the color of his blade. His lightsaber even sounded like it did in Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I
Just
thought
something
so.
specific about it, you know what I mean? And then like he just wrecking house on the stormtroopers. I mean the dark troopers, but I mean like if anybody else didn't know, like I got a whole Darth Vader feel of the dark troopers, like straight up. Like I was just like, damn, he taking down his daddy left and right. Shit.
Yeah.
And then when he just walked in, I didn't know why everybody was so scared except for Moff Gideon, because that little hoe just was just like, oh, I know who that is. Like, I didn't realize him until afterwards how scared he was. I was like, that's you better watch yourself.
Gideon was sick, boy. Look, like, and that's why I knew in that moment, I was like, okay, so he wasn't lying when he said, assume he know everything. Because when he saw that, he knew automatically. He was like, I don't want no problems with this dude. I'm good.
Right.
I'm all the way good, bro. Like,
my man looked like the little kid you sent to the room. Be like, now you sitting there and wait till I calm down.
Right.
That's just that look he had on his face. He's like, oh, I'm not waiting for none of that. But yeah, but like they're naturally suicidal anyway. So like he was gonna try and kill himself regardless for being captured. So that didn't surprise me, man.
I don't know if it was just me, but like Disney took a dark turn of that when he was about to off himself.
Yeah, they
like,
really did.
Like,
that and
like,
the choke out.
I know.
Yeah.
When
got me.
When
like,
he,
I was just kind of like, because I know Disney doesn't shy from violence, especially with like the Avengers and everything. But I was just like, damn, he about to straight up off himself, bro.
Yeah.
But like, so just overall though, I mean, I love Luke, and immediately when I saw him come in, I was like, ignite the green, ignite the green.
Right.
But my biggest thing for this takeaway of everything was just the Mandalorian aspect of it. So I knew the minute he fought Gideon, and he defeated him, I was like, oh shit, he's Mandalore right now.
Yeah.
That my man's is the Mandalore right now.
Mandalorian.
Yes.
So pissed, bro.
Yep.
And I'm not. Look, man. I love Bo-Katan. I love her character. I love Katie Sackhoff. She does an amazing job. And the fact that she's like one of us, Katie Sackhoff being one of us, just makes it even better. because she's so passionate about that role.
Yeah.
Yes.
She is.
Like, I was like, she gonna be mad as shit. And then I'm not gonna lie though, bruh. Like when she was talking the way she was to my boy Boba,
Yeah.
I was like, little girl. I was like, I felt like Medea, bro. I was just like, I just like clapped my hands together. I was like, little girl, sit down.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
it's just like, look, you realize who you're talking. This man's father was Mandalore for a good stint, so you better sit your ass down, girl.
Right.
Yeah. 100.
Right.
100.
And
I
then,
say
like,
sat down. I mean sat down.
Sat down.
And then like Oscar Reeve got up and was just like, I didn't know sidekicks could talk, and I was like, girl,
Aren't you a sidekick?
just sit your ass down.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, sidekick. I was like, oh shit, my boy. Look, if that fight had gone on any longer,
Oh, yeah.
Fett would have ruined both of them.
Oh, yeah. It would have been a wrap.
Straight up.
Yeah,
Like,
them
I'm
meat
not gonna
rockets.
lie, I freaked out just from the beginning. Like that shot of the two of them walking in, and then they're both scanning together.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's my dogs right there. That's my boys right there.
Yeah.
Cause like, I'm in the, like I said, I'm in the army, so I know how that is when you're scanning a room.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I always looked at Boba Fett. Like Boba to me was like one of those dudes I looked at growing up. Like how you guys looked up to Luke growing up, a lot of people did.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Boba was my boy.
Boba was that
Like
dude for
I'm
you.
a
Okay.
half Irish kid from Boston, bro. Like
Feel
you know
you.
what I mean? So like being tough is part of that.
Yeah.
So the minute Boba walked in, and then he was just so calm, cool, and collected. Even when Casca Reeves stood up and she was just like, oh yeah? And I was just like, look, girl, you don't realize who you messing with right now.
Right.
But
He
dude,
handled
I'm not gonna
himself.
lie. My favorite part of the whole episode though was the end credit scene with Boba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because, like, when he walked in, I was like, yo, that's Bib Fortuna. Damn, he got thick.
Yep.
Yeah. I was saying the same thing to Al too. I actually recognized him.
Yeah. Yeah. My dude
I was like,
got
man,
nice
he
and
a
comfy,
thick-ass
man.
boy right now.
Hey, he
It's
knows
a-
like
yeah,
he finally
man,
was
like,
eating good. Shit.
Mhm.
Bill was like, man,
Look, bro,
Jabba be eating up all the potato chips.
Right. Now I see why.
Bruh,
Right.
He looked like he ate Jabba and it went right into his leku.
Yes.
Like, how do you gain weight in your leku, bro?
Hey. Now you know it's possible.
Hey, that's facts, bro. Like for real.
Look, I saw him and I thought of the 1,000-pound sisters when they gained weight in their forehead. I was like, dog, how you gaining weight in your leku, bro?
Yeah, man. Just
So then,
hilarious.
like, when
Hilarious.
he walked in, bro, the minute I heard Fennec's blaster go off, I knew what was going down.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was just like, oh shit, no, there's no way. There's no way that he about to do this.
Yeah.
And then he walks in and just like that shot of him walking in. I've seen so many screensavers just looking like that. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So many people do so much fan art that just look like that. And it shook me to my core, bro. I got like goosebumps and chills. And I was like, no, he's not going to do it. And he's just like, oh yeah, nah. And then he just murks the guy straight there. Not even a word was said of dialogue.
None.
Out. And then
Oh.
when he walked up there, and the way he tossed his ass off the throne,
Yes.
man,
Yes.
I was like, yeah, that's Pimp Daddy Fett right there, man.
Yes.
You don't mess with him, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like, I want to know what you guys thought of like, where do you see the predictions of where they're gonna take Fett in that aspect? Because he's the king of the underworld.
Yes.
And now I think so. My thing is like so he took over Bib Fortuna.
Mhm.
Ooh, like my man's is gonna rule. He's the king of crime right now. He's basically the Joker. But I think that eventually, and this is just my hope as a fanboy of Fett, I think that since Din Djarin is Mandalore, Bo-Katan's gonna, like I said, pull some Starscream shady shit and like be like, oh yeah, nah, we're cool, and then she's gonna do some stuff behind Din's back. I think that, and this goes back to your point out when you saw, was it episode 14? I don't remember, or episode 6 when he came back. I don't remember the episode. but the way he looked at Din Djarin when he got the spear.
Yes. Yeah. That was in the tragedy. Yeah.
100% agree, bro. 100% agree that when he saw him pick up the spear, he got the flashbacks of Papa Django coming back.
And that's something that that's something that, not to cut you off, but that we gonna definitely talk about on After Dark, because
After Dark,
that's gonna be the next thing that I want to dive into is where does this take Boba, and where does Boba fit in to Din Djarin's story going forward? Because I got some thoughts on that for sure, and we definitely gonna get into that on After Dark, homie.
Yeah, most def.
And I know I'm talking a lot, but just because I got you guys here, but it's just like, you know, I've been such a fan of the Fets and how much Clan Fett deserves to be Mandalorians, and now that the debate is over, that Clan Fett is Mandalorian, just and having Jasta Mareel come in, like Boba actually has a shot at that throne, 100%. Just the fact that he is Clan Fett of House Mareel.
Yes.
Like Jasta Mareel, for me, is my favorite Mandalore. Like that man knew at the core of what a Mandalorian was, and the Super Commando Codex and all that good stuff. And then Django, like, you know, my boy, one of my best friend was telling me, like, you know, he's like, I'm surprised Boba's so honorable. Django was honorable too. He may have been ruthless, but he was a man of his honor. He was a warrior, just like Boba is in this series. Like everybody was thinking he was gonna turn. Nah, son. I could tell just the way he carried himself. He knew what he was doing. And I really think that because Dave and John are the GOAT, they really turned this whole year around for us. We got the best Christmas present this year and next year we could ask for.
That's what's up. Yes.
But I think that it's gonna turn into a Mandalorian Civil War. I said that when Boba came back. Or actually, I said that when Bo came back. It's 100% going to be a Mandalorian Civil War, and I think it's going to be like how we've been talking. You guys been talking where the Game of Thrones things, where it's going to be like Boba versus Din versus Bo, and then maybe the Armorer, because the Children of the Watch are going to come in and they're going to be like, "Oh shit, what are y'all doing? Oh, okay, all right, I'm in. We having Donnybrook? Okay, I'm in. Let's do it." You know what I mean? But yeah, I know I've been talking y'all's ear off, but I just want to get in here and you know, give love to my dogs and keep doing what you're doing. And I'll talk to y'all next time.
Appreciate it, man.
Homie, we appreciate that always, man. Be careful out there while you nerd fans.
Yeah, man.
Oh, you know what I'm doing, man. You know what I'm saying, man. You know, I'm an OG. I keep it holding down. You know what I mean?
That's what's up, man. All righty.
Man.
All right, so we got one left, man. So he popped out, but he came back in. So I'm gonna let him have it. He was being patient the whole time.
Yeah.
Tiki boy.
What you got, man? Last one in here.
Is that Dolby, or is that the dude from what you call it, from Minions? Despicable Me. It looks like the dude. One of the two.
Hello.
There you go.
Hey.
What's up, Tiki boy? How's your night going?
What's up? I'm actually I don't stay in US. I stay in Singapore. It's more...
What was that?
Right.
I stay in Singapore, so it's...
Up.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Break it up for us, man.
Wait.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
There we go.
There you go. That's a lot better.
Yeah, it's a lot better. Yeah. I stay in Singapore, so it's morning for me.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, turn us down in the background real quick. So we can just hear you. Is that better?
Okay now?
There we go.
Yeah, we good.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah, so I can see you guys are really, so I'm just gonna be quick.
Sure.
I'm just 20 years old, and I just got into the fandom like 10 years back. I saw like the Clone Wars series on Cartoon Network, and that's how I became a fan. Like it's like Star Wars has been my whole life, even though I'm just 20 years old. So I had never imagined that I would see that version of Luke Skywalker, which I saw last night.
Yeah.
I just thought I'll see the old Mark Hamill. So
Right.
seeing the original version of Luke Skywalker was just like, I was like, no, like when the X-Wing came, I thought that it was Ahsoka. Because like I thought like no way they can show Luke Skywalker right now.
Right.
Right, man. Right.
Yeah, I got really like I was like even when they showed the lightsaber, I was like, no, it can't be Luke Skywalker. And then they showed the hand and everything. Then I'm like, oh shit, no.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but I really hope they if they plan to show more of Luke, they cast him as like Sebastian Stan.
No doubt.
But
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I hope they do too.
Because I'm hearing you guys like you saw the original trilogy back in the 80s and everything, but I was just a kid like 10 years ago, and
right,
I'll see this version of Luke Skywalker live. So it was
that's what's up, man. Yeah, no, and that's the cool part for you, man, is again, you're only 20, so the stuff that you're getting, man, you get to enjoy it with us with a kind of different appreciation, but it's still cool, man. It's still the same like fanfare and adoration, because you at 20 still, and that just goes back to my point. Everybody, it's across so many different generations, man. It's incredible.
Yeah,
exactly. And yeah, that's what made me like really excited that they actually chose to do this. Like, thanks to John and Dave, that they actually got back the original Luke Skywalker.
Right.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you coming through, man, and sticking in there.
For sure, man. Appreciate you for showing love all the way from Singapore, man. That's what I love.
Yeah. The show, man. Like that's, whew. You out there by Mandalorian for us.
Right.
For sure. So be careful, man, and make sure you take care of yourself while you're out there nerd in these streets.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
awesome, man. You know,
man.
All the love,
all
the connectivity, all this connective tissue that we have within our community. It's just amazing.
Don't you love it, man? Ain't it a beautiful thing?
I do.
It's a beautiful thing, bro.
It just makes me real glad to be here. And before we get all up out of here, I kind of wanted to say to all of you guys, of course, naturally, as always, we appreciate y'all every week that you're here.
Yes.
And it's a blessing, especially for Al and I, because we're just on an up. Al is in a transitional phase, and a very positive one. I'm in a transitional phase, very positive one. And we're a little late today, and still you guys in here rocking with us,
man.
And we're a little late on Thursday. You guys still rocking with us. Some of y'all rocked with us all the way
night
up till the premiere. So we just want to give y'all all the appreciation that we can to let y'all know we're here for y'all. It like at any time that we're late, or any time that we're like, we don't know if we can do the show, like we try to find ways and avenues to make sure
that we get it to y'all one way or the other, man. We might be on nerve engine time, but we gonna definitely make sure to carve out time for the people, because
most definitely.
I mean, it's beautiful. This is beautiful, man. We love it to death.
Yeah,
love it to death.
Most definitely.
$4.99 super real quick from the homie Dylan said ignite the green, baby. Yeah, you said we had another one we had to catch?
Yeah, I had another one earlier. Let me see if I can still get it. I believe it's from the Atheist Bear.
Oh, yes.
$4.99. Yeah, he said Luke Skywalker has vanished, starting episode 7 with the opening crawl. 5 years later, Luke Skywalker reappears.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
And it couldn't have been a better return either, man. Couldn't
have
been a better
most
return.
Definitely. Yeah, I had a better time on a better show than the Mandalorian.
Yes, no doubt,
man.
But yeah, next Thursday, man, be sure y'all in here for After Dark. We'll be at it again. I think we'll take that time to really dive into some of the implications from this episode and what it means for season 3 of Mando, for Boba Fett, and all of that. But today was all about the homie Luke and what that meant for that moment meant. I told Lab, I was like, man, look, I'm gonna be a little late today, bro.
Right.
I got some things. I'm working on a couple changes,
Right.
But once I get through, man, we get in here. I don't care what time it is because I gotta let people know. And I was really honestly pumped to hear what you guys thought. You know what I'm saying? What
Yes,
y'all
most
thought.
definitely.
And you didn't
Yeah.
disappoint. You know what I'm saying? Y'all say
Nope.
that, you know, y'all come and y'all are checking us out and love being in here with us and hearing what we got to say. Well, that goes both ways, man, because some of the stuff we got today, man, I mean, it's just beautiful to hear. You know, I think about, you know, some of the stories, you know, people connecting and having moments with their mother, their children, you know, friends, and all of this stuff. And that's when you realize just how important this community is for, you know, everybody and on multiple levels. So whether you're 20 years old and in Singapore, whether you know, serving the country and listening to us, whether you out there in them trucks, whatever it is you're doing, man, keep on nerve engine, keep on doing what you do, keep rocking with us, because we damn sure gonna keep rocking with y'all.
Most definitely. And I see the man Justin Chandler come in with the $2 holler talking about, I'm gonna be there for the Boba chat. Open that hotline.
Yeah, you know,
we'll give
man.
y'all the opportunity to tell us what you think, either after dark or afternoon, for sure.
Yeah.
We shall be back. We like hearing y'all. We totally like hearing y'all. And yeah, the Star Wars 1995. How do you get the lightsaber emoji? By subscribing and becoming a member, baby.
Yeah, you gotta join that Nervenger team, man.
Yeah, man.
Be sure to do
I don't know
that.
if the moderator is here, but or Ryan.
One of the other.
Somebody usually pops one of the two links in there for you guys, man. You got to become a Nerdvenger and get them emojis, and then join the Discord to keep the conversation going.
No doubt.
Most definitely, man. You got anything else you want to throw in there?
Hey,
for
man,
the
I
people?
think I think I done gave enough of a sermon today. I think I got some edification from the peoples, man. I'm feeling good, bro. I think this is a nice time to ride out.
Yes, sir. So again, like we always say,
you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here.
Out of here,
my man.
Until next time, y'all. My man Al.
Catch you in the next episode. Hey. Oh man, I think we took them way afternoon in the before dusk in the nighttime.
Right. Shoot, man. Just as long as we keep the after on it, I guess we can kind of get away with the Nerdvenger time.
We sure can, man. Look, you already see, man. I was Dr. Strange with it when I came up with that title. I knew us.
I see that.
I knew us.
I got a little bit of Fresh Prince vibes on that though.
Yeah, that same thing too, man. You know,
previously.
hey.
Way afternoon.
Yeah, man.
But you know, we're gonna be out here in these streets, man. I'm gonna try to get back on the after dark, man. But you know